to tase them both down to the ground.
You're on.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant with that shock dart, knowing they're both going to be super weak. Unbelievable, unbelievable stuff. But this is the Zeta we need to see. This is the Zeta we saw on Sunset, where they're reading the map incredibly well, and that's what gives them the advantage here. Laz is never really accounted for on short, and that lack of contact there through mid kind of just gives. What he say? He said he was funny. He said a bad word. I cannot repeat that word.
Something, man. Okay.
But that's okay.
But that's kind of the Zeta that that we're starting to see again. Almost as if it's a combination of both Sunset and Icebox, getting a good read, but also playing really defensively.
ODEP.
Not necessarily overextending too much. It's just really early on. You've got the Marshall. Trying to pull it out in this skirmish. Lance has got his back. Lightning fast with the wide swing. But Hero around there to back him up.
And you're able to keep all the important guns. Both Bulldogs, the Guardian, and a Spectre. You don't mind losing that Marshall in that round at all as Zeta Division. And yeah, Adept did a good job there. Dodging that turret. Sidestepping it just as it was activating, so he wasn't pinged by it. That gave GE a little bit of false confidence that they could push forward, try to reaggress the angle. That's fine. It's the ego. Challenge Depth with a Marshall. Might get lucky, he whiffs the shot, and you can outdo him. But in that Depth, they're able to buy enough time with his dash and his smoke to get back and wait for the reinforcements for the rest of his team. So solid start for Zeta. See if they can keep it up.
It's also precisely why the desk was kind of discussing this. That map pick and bans are really important. The fact that this is Ascent, and Global is the one that left it open, Zeta gets to pick the side that they want to start on. And starting on defense on Ascent is such a big deal, given how the map is laid out. And they're just doing such a good job at kind of playing defensively. I mean, look at the positioning from Laz. Good angle, takes down one player, and that's kind of enough damage. Because all of a sudden, the 3 players on A are prepared for that A hit.
Yeah, and that sends GE over towards the other side of the map. Maybe feeling like if they've got that Killjoy dealt with, that's going to make the B site a lot more tenable to get into. Yeah.
We do need Pulvy to pop off in this moment. The initial entry. Oh, but he just gets tapped. Bit of a crouch. I mean, he had the Outlaw, so that's what he was going for, but Yuron. Impeccable performance. Now Paranoia pushes him away, but take a look at what's happening on the mini-map. Our observers caught it too. Depp going on a bit of a journey of his own. Alarmbot catches him out, so he just rendezvous to go back with his team. Lightning Fast pushes out though, and still feeling sharp.
A great flash from Russ to set him up. Oh, Depp's gonna outdo him again. Russ though, quick for the trade.
2-on-2. Yuron still has utility, not to mention Sugar Zero as well. Everything available. Meanwhile, Global Esports, they only have their positioning. Rusto with the shot. Swings out a little, catches Hiroran after hearing that flash getting popped. Sugar Zero now, Paranoia, just to buy a bit of time, a bit of safe space. Catches an unsuspecting Benkai, but now not enough time to defuse the spike. Walks straight into Russ, and look at that sidestep. Global Esports.
And Russ is involved in every kill in that round. What a great round for him. With that flash over into the alley, setting up his teammates so nicely, able to deal with the Laz, cheeky positioning, trading off of his teammates, playing time very nicely.
Go boys!
That's a round that you definitely want to see out of your IGL for Global Esports. Tremendous, tremendous round, and he's got that no command as his follow-up prize. So, Depth with the Outlaw and the Blade Storm. Of course, it's Odin time. Ascent. you just know it's an inevitability.
It's match made in heaven. we don't mess with these.
Truly, this is yes.
The Guardian counter for it though is something that we've been starting to see now, and Yuron knows to walk away from it. You want to avoid that for sure.
An Outlaw as well could potentially be used if you felt like it, but with half armors for side of GE. Depth's Outlaw, on the other hand, could provide a ton of value, but Diligent Space Clearing Alarm Bot gone for the side of ZETA. Gonna use the drone to really make sure that this space is safe for Polvi to push in.
Making a bit of noise, too.
Ooh.
If Polvi does push in, yeah, Laz is ready to greet, along with Yudan as well, and that Odin. So that's why Depp made a bit of noise, just to kind of bait Global Esports into peeking down this pizza/market area. Funnels them in towards A short. As long as they can block off this entrance, they don't get to come in for an easy spike plant, ZETA should have this round.
And then you can pop the ult too to make this hit even harder for GE. Gonna have to wait this out or try to get it done with guns. Yeah, you got one player who can paranoia in. Oh, Russ winning that!
Good shot. Yudan from behind though. Great timing with his Odin. But the double swing from Global Esports, they capture the site. They know where Yudan is, and they manage to trade him down. Laz is the only one left. Tries to make a quick move, but completely surrounded. It's Global Esports coming back in the game with a 2-2.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff here from Russ. Great work using his ultimate to make it that much easier for him. Now you've got Benkai's lockdown. No answer just yet. A great recon dart there as well. Forced Laz into a bad spot where he had to try to make the drop down. Got spotted by it. Makes it even easier for Benkai to react. Everybody else is fired up, and Benkai cool as a cucumber as usual.
Always.
Always.
Just deadpan expressions. But who knows what's going on inside.
Depp, oh my god. They know. Yep.
We've seen this before. And that's also the other thing about Ascent, is just how much have teams, figured out from each other at this point. Which is, it's imperative that ZETA Division brings new flavors, especially in this Pacific Stage 1 matchup. Still very much aware and in position around this catwalk area. Global Esports bypasses it. They walk through main, a couple players coming to reinforce towards top mid. Door's been shut. Should be an easy spike plant any second now.
Here.
Great timing on that. To buy a little bit extra time. Take that Blade Storm temporarily out of Depp's hands. Gun dart has to be cleared. This looks like a phenomenal post plant setup for GE.
Oh. Clean and easy. You got players up around door generator as well. Russ right underneath Hell. Pulls them back in. Third kill secured. Russ is having a good game on this map.
He's having an insane game. Absolutely one of the best maps we've seen from him so far since his move over to this Global Esports squad. Just really reading the map so well right now. RGE in general is not really allowing any shenanigans from that Blade Storm of Death to really find any value.
You, scary omen.
And now Depp is able to get into an op, but you do have Polvi with the counter op. Odin's on both sides as well, so and then didn't need to use the lockdown for GE. The round was clean enough. They were able to find those picks early. So now they can really take their time with this. Be methodical on the map. A lot of attention in towards mid for ZETA. And now they're really crunching in towards mid. I mean, they're really expecting something to come through here. But it is sort of a feint from Global Esports where they're going to put some pressure towards B. Polvi going to see if he can catch him sneaking out. He does.
Good flick.
You should run.
Attention brought towards mid has all been for naught. Global Esports just kind of in control of things, Throwing a couple of jabs, a couple of feints, trying to bait ZETA into peeking into them. The Odin now being fired off, but it just pushes ZETA Division a little bit further away as Yudan reloads. Yudan may be able to get one frag, but traded off by Polvi. The From the Shadows invested by Lightning Fast as well to secure spike plant.
I think ZETA might have to consider a save pretty quickly.
Especially
got two big guns, yeah.
That's the thing. Depp's still pressing forward though. I think he can't quite get out. Recon kind of tags him as well. Blaze King, good information. Odin is firing off. Sugar Zero a couple of kills, but now when it comes down to it, you got two targets, Depp. And you've got an operator. not an optimal situation to be in. So, oh my God. Tries to back out, but just the incoming rain of bullets catches him in the back of his head.
They demand a fight.
Just
Who
brilliant.
are we to disobey?
GE so patient. It looked like it was going to be a fake towards B initially, but with that pick, and then the quick decision to invest the lockdown as well, got the spike being rotated over immediately, and they're able to use that from the shadows as well to really bypass any of the danger from those big guns that ZETA had in their hands. Set up for that post plant, and honestly, I think ZETA maybe should have considered the save a lot sooner on that. That was going to be a really nasty, you know, defuse to try to go for. And you can see why. You know, Blaze King with that Odin sitting in the back of boats, that's so tricky. Plus, he's been great with his utility to set himself up.
It's tough to flush him out of that position unless you have the numbers to really deal with it. And ZETA just didn't have that in that scenario. So, not only that, they've lost 4 rounds in a row now, Paperton. I feel like they should be bankrupt. So, good timeout being called by Coach Carlisle, but he has to plan for the future. And that's the thing about this map, because Global Esports are in the lead now. This actually could be the first time that Global Esports takes down ZETA Division.
It's
first
really,
time in all Pacific.
Yeah, really starting to look that way. And in fact, you know, it was an overtime the last time these two teams played on this map, so certainly ZETA could bounce back. But right now, again, GE on these maps, with the time and preparation that they've had in the offseason, done a really good job of kind of figuring out how they can expose the weaknesses of the way ZETA likes to play. And it felt like early on, you know, ZETA was going to be able to read the map nicely, make some good rotations, but after that, GE's been just playing with their food. They have been just completely confusing ZETA. I don't know if they expected an op in that previous round and, you know, things like that caught Laz off guard. So you really like the bounce back from GE.
Sometimes it's just tough to read too.
Oh my God.
What?
He knows.
Swings out, bit of a flash. Nano's trying to flush him out of position, but Russ just sprays it down. It is an anti-eco round, so all he's got to do is to pepper him full of holes. No shots found from ZETA Division, except for the one. Now Polvi comes in. Additional information. Russ online for the ace.
Give it to him. He's earned it. Although they might want to give it to someone else because he's already got the null command. So
true that. Give it to Blaze King.
Yeah, exactly. You'd kind of like this to go to Blaze King if possible.
Just locking out those angles. Yeah, they know he's up there. There's the ace. Russ should be feeling that one, popping off on the stage. 5-2, Global Esports just having a grand old time.
He's been popping off on this map. I mean, this is a tricky position to be in. Getting caught in the frag. Whoa, whoa, what a transfer there. Absolutely nasty. Grabbing that op and they're fired up now. You better believe it. All right, well, this is an important round for ZETA. All these ultimates, they have to stop the bleeding.
That's what the timeout was for. Has to be. So off of it, they go on the offensive. Flashes sounded all throughout B lobby, but not too many kills. Only the one from Sugar Zero, as Global Esports expects it. They actually cut them down all the way from Catwalk. Les comes in to reinvestigate, but by this point, information's bad. Global Esports are gone. In fact, they've wrapped around from A main, coming back in to secure the site.
I mean, Laz is going to have to go nuclear here. This has to be just a multi-kill.
Okay, well-timed smoke.
I think GE is, after that
It's just
smoke,
like,
they're
we don't
considering
go
going, yeah, good, exactly. Or at least waiting this out a little bit longer.
Russ has flashes. Lightning fast as well. They're trying to make ZETA Division think. Look, they're making them sweat paper thin.
It's really smart. Now with that knife, you kind of have a pretty good idea, but you have to be so careful. You know that op is still there. Oh, last what? A triple, a quad! You said he was going nuclear, and he just dropped a bomb of Global Esports. I just...
Can I get this?
It's just unreal what Laz can do
get
sometimes. The guy
What
is
on earth?
just unstoppable.
Okay, let's break down how he just did it though. Anticipating,
Crazy.
thinking that they might have doubled back into B, steps back through, and just because of, you know, things aligning for him, the flash did not blind him, he manages to precisely pin down each and every one of his targets.
You don't have to use any ults in that round. I mean, you get the win on the back of one of the craziest 4Ks we've seen today. Just, I don't know. What do you do? I mean, hopefully GE doesn't get too rattled by that. Trying to clear open some space.
Okay.
We do get the kill off of that. Benkai able to use that Hunter's Fury on the other side of the map.
Open.
Yeah. A little bit of a distraction, and Benkai wins a duel.
Yeah. GE has the advantage in timing and position right now, but again, Laz is just feeling it. Walks back down in towards that market position, catches two players as they try to rotate down mid. Blaze King comes back in for the answer. A bit of pop flash from Hirodon now, and that's Blaze King down in the dumps. Benkai, 21 HP left. And unless, you know, there's not that much he can do. Tries to jump over to throw them off guard, but it's just not quite enough. He doesn't have enough health to sustain him through all that damage.
Yeah. Don't mind the idea at all, but the only thing I'm concerned about now is you lost your counter to the lockdown, the easy counter. I mean, most teams have plans, right, these days, where they know where the lockdowns are going to be placed by the defenders.
Lineup.
Yeah, they have lineups for days. You can rely on that KO in particular. A good fragment will take down that lockdown as long as it lands properly. Yeah, absolutely a good time for a timeout. Laz is getting fired up. Can't let that happen. Got to make sure you can stem the bleeding here, but ZETA starting to throw a few different looks and getting some big hero plays, but it's going to take more than that to beat this GE squad. As we saw in Icebox, you know, the good game plans, the executions, a lot crisper for GE than we saw in kickoff.
Yeah, definitely different looks from kickoff. And I think that's the biggest thing, you know, regardless of what the result is. Of course, GE fans would be hoping that Global Esports comes up with the win. But regardless, you know, it really shows that throughout that offseason, throughout Masters Madrid, throughout Paper Thin being in the elevator with all these players, everyone has, you know, worked on, you know, all of these maps. And right now, Global Esports actually look evenly matched up against ZETA Division. Completely different from what we saw in kickoffs and last year.
Yep. I'm really, really impressed. Again, it wasn't an easy start, but certainly looking amazing here. Trying to clear that alarm bot, I believe, with that nano. Just checking in. A lot of utility just dumped in towards mid. Nobody there, nobody home. So they're going to take their time. Really spread out the map. Really try to get an idea of what ZETA is doing. See if ZETA's going to go for any kind of aggressive pushes.
Wow.
And nothing being given over. So you know you have a little bit of space, but it has to feel like a trap, right? Like you have to feel like they have some kind of pinch play, some kind of setup off the back of any contact they get. They were sort of defaulty. Now they're kind of shifting back into a pretty similar position, and Depp so close with that op for a moment, but gonna move his way back up to heaven.
Pretty unsettling. Both sides starting out on defaults. ZETA trying to get a good read on things, but they're not finding out too much. Global Esports on the other hand, exactly. In all of these movements, there are some tiny gaps in ZETA's defenses, and it allows for Blaze to sneak into such a prime position. If someone tries to rotate over from this, he might be able to catch a kill onto them. So a bit of attention drop towards A short now, and that lures Hirodon in towards Blaze King's crosshairs. Suddenly, ZETA Division feels the pressure, and both of the players try to hide inside a hell. 10 seconds left for Global Esports to get the spike down, though, and Russ manages to get it done. Blaze King still in such a great spot, does the damage, Depp's still alive, able to shut down Polvi for the time being, tries to swing out wide, but Benkai denies him any joy. Lockdown available, but I don't think Laz is going to be able to repeat that quad kill from before.
No, there just isn't going to be enough time, you would think. Yeah, he has to go for the save. Just not quite enough money to feel comfortable going for it just yet. Definitely the wise play here for Labs, but Just too much space given by Zeta this time.
Yeah.
Those defaults started out good, but then I'm not exactly sure, what's going through the minds of Zeta in that moment when Hirodon shifts back to their spawn and he's holding that down. I mean, with all that pressure into mid, I think they felt like that was going to be the weaker part of the map, the part of the map where GE might explore.
Targets
But Blaze
destroyed.
King, a savvy veteran. Blaze King has been around since basically day one of
Yeah.
Valorant, guys. Like, if you don't know, he's been playing.
Previous games and
Yeah,
everything.
he's been to international
Boom
events a long time
esports
ago.
and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
This guy's smart as heck,
Find death.
and he ruins.
Bro, what the fuck
Zeta's
am I there,
round.
bro?
Careful checks, right? Yeah. He has no, like, how did I even get in through tree into
Placing swarm grenade.
window? And just, sometimes it just happens that way.
Placing swarm grenade.
Zeta Division, a little bit unlucky in that. But like you mentioned, the main factor is still that too much space was given up.
Yep.
So we want to see them being a little bit more proactive, but down to the last 2 rounds of the first half now.
And to try to accomplish that, they're going to put Depp in this position at short again. Trying to use this cubby to see if he can catch anybody. Getting a little bit too ambitious, seeing if maybe GE gets a little bit overconfident from the space they were able to take in the previous round. But with Polvi there, Depp might be in trouble.
Ooh, okay. Good little jiggle.
Here.
Managed to sneak away. But that's, again, the thing about this entire map pick is the fact that it feels a little bit defender-sided. And if you allow for Global Esports to come up with such a strong advantage, if this first half ends in an 8-4, Zeta Division might be in trouble. It's very crucial for them to come up with some wins right now. I think that's also why they're playing it really safe. They don't want to pull up any risks.
Spike
If
down,
anything,
B.
minimal risk would peak at the right times. Laz is able to secure
ahead.
surprise kills like that in a blink of an eye.
Shock dart.
Yeah, and you can see they're really trying to buy a little
30
bit of
seconds
extra
left.
time. That's a great alarm bot. Deeper than normal. That's going to catch Polvi, give him a little bit more of information on where these players are coming
Oh,
from. And Laz
unbelievable.
plays it so well.
Paranoia as well. They are kind of funneled in towards Alley. Laz, very safe. Nobody pushed out too far, and he's just
Spike
holding it down.
B.
Third kill coming
10
through.
seconds
Shut down by
left.
lightning fast in the sudden,
the
though.
spike.
Oh! 5 seconds left. Blaze King has to push in. Knows one is up by Boathouse.
Last
Goes in
player
for the plant instead. Sugar Zero just swings and gets the kill. No time for Global Esports. Zeta Division trying to even out the score.
In the
Yeah,
half.
there you go. And there's Zeta putting a little bit more pressure on the map in a couple different parts. That makes their lives a little bit easier. Great awareness here from Laz. Had been placing his alarm bot further up towards the stairs
Nice.
of mid.
Nice.
Pulls it back this time, and yeah, now Laz is getting fired up. Now you can see a little bit of that energy, a little bit of that
Placing
passion
swarm grenade.
coming through
Placing swarm
for the
grenade.
It's almost
veteran.
like
Yeah.
that calm anime character, before that,
swarm
it just
grenade.
doesn't need to do too much. He's happy, like, nice. But now, like, he has to show his final form. He starts to show his true colors a little bit
Well,
more.
when Laz is popping off, which he doesn't,
Yeah.
his pop-offs aren't like very grandiose, but when he's popping off, things are going good. Great flash.
Oh. Bit of a trade. Yuron able to take down his counterpart. But that's another surprising thing about this map so far is the fact that, we might have thought, the head-to-head would have been between Polvi and Depp. But instead, we were seeing moments of greatness from players like Blaze King, players like Russ and Laz. Both IGLs doing so
Killed my
much
bot.
and performing right now.
Destroyed.
Laz trying to sneak away with some of these sneaky
down.
angles.
Oh, but he's
Minimal
gonna pay
risk
the
factor.
price. Oh,
Gets away free.
how?
If he can use that lockdown, that would be huge.
Whoa.
Odin's still firing away.
So dangerous. But they're going to shut the door. This should give them, if they can clear Lightning Fast, who snuck in on the other side of it, should give them the ability to put this lockdown in.
All right. They gotta clear Lightning Fast first, though. That's the main thing. Good jiggle again. There's the lockdown. Lightning Fast under pressure now. Forces the Paranoia out. Stuck in an animation. The rumbling of the Odin fires away, but Sugar Zero simply peeks out. Peak accurate moments. And with the final shot, secures the defuse for Zeta Division as they tie things up 6-6.
Is diffused.
I like the attempted trickery there from GE. It's just Lightning Fast, a little too fast for his own good, where he pulled the trigger just a little bit too soon, and that gave Zeta the ability to quickly recover and kind of figure out what to do there, where they're able to at least get a trade out of it. And then you force that flood where they have to get through that door, back through that door to clear that lockdown. You force those players to come through there, and ZETA knows it. They're just able to hold the crossfire. So a 6-6 half. Interestingly enough, the last time these two teams played on this map, it was 5-7 on both sides, and it went to overtime. Are we destined for yet another ZETA overtime on Ascent? Sure feels that way, doesn't it?
It definitely does. Both teams feeling equally matched right now. Of course, it's a bit of a stamina game as well. Once you go into that second half, you swap sides, and ZETA Division has to attack. We've seen it before, how many executes they've got, especially when you've got players like Deb. You know, he'll do things like Tailwind and updraft up towards the top of Generator on A site. Perhaps even into B as well, sneaking past Alley.
Well, it's
Global
one of the
Esports has
things.
to be prepared.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I fully agree with you, and I was going to build on what you're saying. It's one of the things that makes Depp such a good player is that he takes advantage of the terrain of the map. He's so good with that as part of his game. Now, on the other side of the coin, I really liked GE investing in that operator early on their attacker side. It put so much pressure on ZETA, forced them to play further back than they'd probably like, and that was a big part of, I think, what allowed them to string those rounds together. So let's see if Polvi can get into another early operator and really try to shut ZETA out of this half.
Especially on this defense. That's where the operator shines the most. Of course, you got to get to that part first, and the pistol is where things kick off. Polvi already trying to sneak down, but blocked off by the dark cover from Sugar Zero.
Lightning fast already with the paranoia. This could be huge. Huge.
There we go.
Oh no.
Last opening pick. Depp just ignoring Benkai. They know they have the sight.
Look at these flanks. Oh, they're ready.
Last. There's the second one. And he's still watching the angles. Depp has his back watching up towards the top as players try to rotate through from stairs. Blaze King able to come back in to take down both players. Still 2-on-3 though. Hirodan tries to get further information, suppresses them at that 0 point. Global Esports takes a breather.
Yeah,
Where could these players be positioned?
That's great info. It's going to take some fancy shooting.
And you know it's these common spots as well. Definitely one around A main, Generator. They're all watching it. Perhaps into Hell too. But without the kills, without any leg room, they can't make their way into sight. Global Esports, unfortunately, losing out in the pistol. And what a way for ZETA Division to pick up on these entries.
Yeah, that was, again, I like the idea from Global Esports. I really, really do. They try to do a really fast flank, but this time ZETA's got their heads on. Like they're so ready for this. That opening shot by Laz. I thought Lightning Fast did a pretty good job with his paranoia. He got the catch onto Depp and was instantly ready for the follow-up, but Laz just able to beat him there. You know, Laz with a Sheriff, a fearsome foe, no doubt about it. It's all classics for GE. No investment at all. One rifle for Depp in terms of the full rifle, and then a couple Bulldogs.
I think that's the thing too, is just the fact that Les is starting to have a much better game. Not only the pathing and the entries, but Global Esports not quite able to retake now. It's the setups though, again, swinging off of turret contact. Polvi picks up the kill. That's the rifle being dropped.
That's a Phantom, yeah. They're able to get it back, but Depp a little over-eager there, a little ambitious to clear that turret and pays the price, so stuck around just long enough for Polvi to punish him. Now it's going to be shift over to the other side. Laz trying to work this door. Going to have to wait a bit. He's starting to get in. Is he going to read the position?
Has to anticipate it. Look at Russ.
So good.
Pristine timing. Gets the shot onto Laz now. Still plays around the boxes. Couple of shots, and he's just doing enough to chip them down bit by bit. The rest of the Global Esports players are still on pistols, so they're not out of the woods yet.
I thought Benkai might go through for a walkabout through B main, but instead they're just going to deathball it. See if this can get over the line with these guns that ZETA has.
Revealing area.
Double back, good recon.
Stop that.
Oh, tiny
my.
tags with the ghost too. Timer still ticking away. Blind shots being
One
fired
enemy
down through
remaining.
that dark cover. Hirodon, another kill in. Lightning fast trying to do as much damage as possible, but knowing where he would be, just a bit of a pre-fired shot. ZETA picks up the second round in the second half.
It's still a tremendous eco, especially with just classics invested, to take, you know,
So many, 3 guns.
so many guns away, right? You're only able to keep 2 for the side of ZETA. So honestly, that's a pretty big win for Global Esports, in my opinion. Doing the best they can with what they had and making it very uncomfortable for ZETA throughout.
I mean, again, those setups, you know, playing off of the Killjoy turret from Benkai, Russ just incredibly safe and sharp with that classic too. Global Esports are definitely making this, they're making ZETA Division work. And I talked about it before, it's this attacking side because you need to consider some of these positions. Depp cannot make such risky plays like he did.
And this Outlaw is going to get a ton of value. Only half armor
Oh
for
no.
Laz. And everybody but Depp is below the armor threshold.
It's starting to look like ZETA are slowing things down, similar to what we saw last year. And again, in all these tiny little gaps, tiny little lapses and moments, Global Esports pushes up. Firing off on the Odin now.
Yeah, expecting the deep push. Eventually, the shock dart comes in to clear him off that angle, but nobody holding main for ZETA. They are full on. Just gonna stack the site, try to catch them on these entries. This is usually pretty tricky to pull off without that other angle. But of course, with the weaponry, they have the stingers.
Good smoke too. This is a very interesting one. If they push downstairs, they will get clipped. But that's why most of them will try to go around the other side. Depp trying to catch them on the timing. Here's the reload. Okay, 15 left in the magazine. Hirodon with that Phantom making it sing. ZETA Division convert the bonus off of some smart decisions.
Yeah, it looked like it might be pretty tricky. Like they might just try to hold those angles, but Depp is no fear. See, time and time, you saw it in the previous round when he died trying to clear a turret. This round it works out because, like you said, he heard that reload as he was pushing forward and was able to capitalize on that timing. And then Hirodon, oh my word, hits Polvi right as he's coming out of the dash.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, Hirodon.
That's
Bonkers.
it's not easy to like. You have to time. What?
I don't, dude. That's some reflexes. That's that rookie advantage you have. Jeez, Louise.
So again, now back into it. While we do have some rookies coming through, they've got these reflexes. You've got experienced players in the form of Russ, and you can see that he's trying to command the team, delegate some tasks, and he's talking a lot right now. This
Absolutely.
timeout being called.
Yeah, the IGL, it looks like the coaches are going to trust in Russ, who's having a phenomenal map individually, to see if he can get his team back into this one. 16, 10, and 11 is a tremendous scoreline for a KO. Maybe still some more damage to be done. Half armors and a few weaker rifles with the Guardian and the Bulldog in the mix. Yudan going to be going for the Odin, as kind of interesting on the attacker side to see one this early, but the money good enough now for ZETA. I was kind of curious if Depp was going to maybe try to outduel Povey in terms of the opping battle on the attacker side, but Depp's just going to stick with the rifles. Lightning fast, going to be bullied off of his angle with some util. ZETA, kind of interesting setup here. Going to keep that turret there to keep an eye on that positioning at short. Now start to spread the map. Great alarm bot placement, expecting Benkai. He wants to get out on those lurks early, and ZETA knows it.
At the very least, Depp trying to stay mobile. Just trying to clear as much as possible. But Global Esports are nowhere to be found. I love that they're kind of rotating around towards tree, though, anticipating this kind of A-short push. The perfect agents to make it happen as well.
Take flight. Right
A lot of diligence.
enemy
Be
tag.
noting
Oh,
the turret.
Okay, okay. Doesn't see
Just to
Depp,
make
though.
sure. Yeah, no, that's kind of interesting, and Depp's going to try to use that to his advantage. And look at how much room they're giving. Now, you still have the alarm bot, so...
Okay. Bit of a flash just to make them
30
think you're
seconds
going
left.
towards A. But it's that V-split setup.
There they go.
Now the green light is lit. Benkai, perfect position to shut them down. Tries to stay tucked away under logs. Pop blast through though, he's completely blinded, but they didn't catch him! Benkai, a triple kill, goes in for the spray. Depp just sprays him down instead. Lightning Fast goes in for the transfer, and he manages to save the round for Global Esports. What a play!
I love it. Benkai.
Shenanigans!
I know, he wasn't allowed to have his little lurk out of B that he wanted, and instead he just tucks himself in that corner. A great one-way to set him up from Lightning Fast as well. They never catch a glimpse of him as they have to jump through that smoke, and they try to bully their way in and almost get it. That patience, phenomenal there for Global Esports. Now, a little bit deeper into the pocketbook, ZETA have to go. Not quite at a point where they're not going to have a bye for the next round, but the Odin spam duel,
Right here.
not going to find any value for either side, really. Shock Dart as well. Let's see if they can
Right
find
here.
any damage. Here's that turret. He wants to try to clear it. He's so close. He's so close.
Not quite lining
He
it
caught Laz with a little bit of damage, though.
True.
Consolation prize.
Back into it again. I mean,
Here.
there are these rounds where we just see ZETA Division like kind of getting a good read for things, good ideas, you know, baiting some players apart when some of these tiny little corners aren't cleared and Lightning Fast gets to cut you down as you try to cross. He gets 3 kills.
One enemy remaining.
3!
Spike down.
Now Polby chimes back in and it's just a feast for Global Esports.
Beautiful stuff. Lightning Fast this time playing a little bit further back off that angle than we'd seen previously. Just able to find the spray down. ZETA not really trying to disguise their movement in that situation. The turret gets cleared on the other side of the map, and that was the go signal for ZETA. They think, okay, well maybe they're trying to flank, maybe they're trying to push space, so you know, we probably got a couple of them over there. Let's see if we can take advantage of that. Let's see if we can use these numbers advantage, but Lightning Fast just was having none of it.
There it is. Lightning Fast. You know, we thought that Laz was having a good game. Now he's starting to cool off, and the other side is the one that's starting to heat up. Benkai, Lightning Fast, Russ has been just reading things all day, especially off of that previous timeout. Now, Coach Carlisle wants to have a say in this. ZETA needs to adjust something around it. Their attack, you know, again, ideas have been good. Some tiny corners not checked. And then now, when they want to put the pedal on the metal, they want to go faster. They're not quite able to catch the right timing on it. Lightning Fast gets to cut them down as they try to cross.
Exactly.
It's always these 1 or 2 things that they're missing.
Yeah, it is those small things, and those cost you rounds at this level. You have to be so diligent. And ZETA just tries to see if they can use some speed and some timing to get over the line, but GE, you know, of all the teams in Pacific we thought of in terms of like smarts, GE's got to be right up there. You know, so many high IQ players in terms of Valorant game sense.
Especially this year.
Yes, especially this year.
Amazing stuff. ZETA Division trying to adjust back around it. Trying to sneak up all the way through. Maybe a bit of a fake as the spike is actually being committed towards B. A lot of movements from Depp, but they don't find anything. Russ tries to punish and catch them, but Yudon actually anticipates it too. Now going in for the kill towards Benkai. The B split happening right underneath our noses. You've got from the shadows on Sugar Zero. He catches Lightning Fast. And all of a sudden, Global Esports and their setups have been dismantled.
Yeah, it's
Spike
it's
planted.
unfortunate for us. I don't say that often, but Russ made a great read, had the right positioning, just the spray was a little bit too wild. And Yurdan has that big kill, that gets him fired up. They're able to keep Benkai at bay using the combination of him and the updraft from Depp. That's basically them barreling in. Sugar Zero finds one along the way on site, and that's all she wrote. GE gonna have to go for the save at this point. Not much left to be done. There's enough money for another buy, sure, but you don't want to give away the bank at this point. You
Yeah.
need to hold on to that cash. There's still a lot of rounds that are likely to be played.
Good timeout from Coach Carlisle, though. Really shows. I mean, this is what ZETA was kind of missing. This is why he was the coach that's brought in for this
I
team.
got things to do.
They had that similar idea a couple rounds ago to sell a bit of a fake towards A short and then B split, but something was amiss. This time, being able to get the kill on towards Russ, being able to teleport towards the back of Lightning Fast, securing B site, that's what they needed.
An important round. Do have the tic-tac-toe counter to that lockdown with Euron still sitting on his
Sentry.
sitting on his Hunter's Fury. Hit it on. Let's have a null command. There he goes. They're gonna pop it. They're gonna really try to bully their way in through.
Just running and gunning. Russ
my God,
stays tucked
Russ.
away and hidden. Oh, tried to play anti-flash.
Yeah.
Does not work out. But hello, Blaze King. Oh, he's gonna get wall banged instead by Deb.
Gonna res him. Did they not hear it? I don't think they heard it.
Alright. Managed to pick it up. Global Esports just does not have an advantage at all in this situation. It's too risky to push out of defender spawn. Can't quite use the lockdown. No kills going their way. Even have that recon going right underneath Benkai's feet. He's gonna have to back out of there.
Yeah, money's getting a little bit dire for GE. And a save.
Oh,
Gonna have to-
Laz.
oh, he gets caught. Oh, Laz.
Flawless.
Oh no. And with that, a Pulsar flawless win coming in from ZETA Division. Now the smell of the game, the smell of victory slowly, slipping away from Global Esports' grasp.
They're gonna have to make an adjustment because these mid pushes have been devastating. The last 2 rounds have been mid hits for ZETA. That's what's broken open this B site for them. Laz so good on these off angles, so good at keeping your flank secure time and time again.
Out.
And ZETA 2 rounds away from taking this win. Lockdown of their own, a Hunter's Fury as well, still to keep Benkai's lockdown in check. No Hunter's Fury just yet for Blaze King, a couple orbs away.
You don't really want to go. Oh no, Poldy!
Oh no.
It's not quite lining
Russ,
things
though.
up. Russ makes it a trade, indeed, on towards Step as well. You do have these ultimates set up for the retake, but they're trying to be a little bit proactive on it to get information as well as to deal a bit of damage towards ZETA Division. Without depth, the executes are going to be that much more difficult on the attack.
Exactly. So you're really going to have to rely on this lockdown, I think, from Laz. And I think that might be why they're thinking about A, tuck it in the cubby. But look who's reading this pretty well is Russ. So smart, but I think they're sort of aware. It doesn't matter. He's just better.
Spike down mid.
Good tap. Knows he's in a bit of a tough spot now. Yuran catches him out. That does show that he already had a bit of an idea as to what some of these ZETA Division players are about to do.
30 seconds left.
But now that he's gone, numbers evened out. ZETA gets to barrel through. Global Esports just don't quite have the numbers to reinforce these sites safely.
You'd like to see Yuran be so careful. An early lockdown, anticipating this
idea.
pressure. Yeah, this is a good time for it. Yes, you can clear it, but this buys you a little bit of time to get over.
10 seconds left.
Okay. Trying to make
Spike
sure that you
planted.
get the spike planted safely.
You should run.
Laz's own lockdown now. Global Esports has to push up front. They're trying to catch them by surprise along with this paranoia. Wallbangs in. Counter
One
wallbang from
enemy
Yuran.
Last
Pushing out
player
at the
standing.
right time around stairs, and the trade's coming through. Yuran looking for the final player who is detained. He actually just slips right past.
He doesn't know.
Oh God, Ben. Oh, not enough health. Very close to it, almost winnable for Global Esports, but nonetheless,
point.
with the right
Their
ideas,
weekend
with
has come.
enough
Ready
resources, ZETA Division pulls themselves over right to the edge of the finish line.
There's 2 rookie things happening in that moment. One, you don't recognize where Benkai could be sitting with that detain. The other is the flick after he got. So
Enemy.
it works out in the end. I mean, again, ZETA anticipating
He's just
Gave him the hello, gave him the peace sign.
Placing swarm grenade.
But yeah, that's good stuff from ZETA. They're able to get into it, and the Hunter's Fury coming in, trying to shut this all down. But Death still able to find Benkai.
This is where ZETA Division just goes in full force, no fear. Great execute.
Spike
Benkai
planted.
not quite able to defend all that too well.
Oh,
What is that
Oh.
snap? 2 kills back to back, now onto the third. Lightning Fast shuts him down, but the damage has been done. ZETA Division right up towards the edge of it, looking for the closing play.
Shadows travel.
Lightning Fast wants to deny, smokes off the spike. Blaze King pushing in. First heads up duel goes his way. A second kill now under his
Player
belt.
standing.
Lightning Fast pushing along with his teammate who has fallen now. Sugar Zero trying to stay tucked away and hidden. Buys enough time. No defuse available. And that's gonna be the end of the game. ZETA Division,
Attackers win.
Sugar Zero just with the patience for it, closes out the final map 13-8.
And a really interesting final map in terms of both teams having quite a bit of success on their attacker side, having really good reads, how their opponents wanted to play defense, but ZETA's just a little bit better. That final timeout really got them going, really got the tempo pushed up for ZETA. Not something we're used to seeing. At least, you know, last year ZETA, widely recognized as our slow team, our kind of more EMEA style, let's put it that way. Like, you know, a little more patient, kind of took their time. But they started dialing up some fast hits through mid, started really putting pressure on that part of the map, and that started to throw enough chaos in that GE had to scramble. Got a couple recovery rounds here and there. You know, Benkai tucking into that spot, and Russ having a tremendous performance here on Ascent, but
Surely.
ZETA just enough in the tank here to get it done on Ascent. At least, you know, this time they don't even have to go into overtime. I'm sure they're feeling a little bit better about that.
I mean, getting that pistol and everything else along with it too, it just shows that ZETA Division started things off right, but Global Esports, definitely a lot of improvements along the way as well. I mean, Lightning Fast had a lot of kills as that stage, as the Omen on this map too. So both sides showing a lot of great performances, and just the sportsmanship is fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, these players get along pretty well in Pacific. I mean, and certainly, honestly, other than Sunset, throw that map out the window. Global Esports looked really good overall today. I thought they looked improved quite a bit.
You know what? We're going to toss it over to our analytical desk to break down all of this.
That was an incredible win by ZETA Division, but honestly, GE was fighting all the way through, and they had some very convincing rounds.
No, they really did. I mean, this was, I think in the end, a little bit more of a one-sided scoreline than I had anticipated. Again, I was talking about how ZETA, oftentimes they come into this map, they end up playing incredibly close series. And for, I'd say, like, the first half, the first, like, 75% of this map, it really was that back and forth, that really neck and neck play between both of these squads. Lots of clutches from both teams, but ZETA ultimately just a bit better. I mean, typically over here in Pacific, we see a lot of defenders sided advantages on Ascent, but this was very much a battle of the attacking teams.
Yeah, if I could just hyper-focus on some of the things here, it's, I think because of the fact that Hiron was underperforming, I would say for ZETA Division, there were some rounds where he just feels like he kind of misplaced himself in the map, and that's where you see, again, you know, the staple global esports where they like to spread themselves across the map, try to pinch as slowly as possible, but then create those lurk scenarios. One example of that was that tree position where Hiron wasn't aware of the lurk that came from Global Esports, which opened up that A site, which allowed them to get into the site and bully, I believe that was Sugar Zero and Depth. So those kind of rounds happen pretty often here for Global Esports. And like Paper Thin was saying, the boop on the head for Benkai where he wasn't spotted at all, gets a 3K. Very big things like that for Global was happening.
Let's just say, both teams coming away with this one. ZETA, they can hold their heads a little bit higher because they get the win, but maybe go back and just check some corners. so many moments
Yep.
where, I mean, corners weren't being checked. Comms were definitely getting muddied a little bit because, you know, somebody would be posted up at an angle, they'd get a kill, and then somebody else would just come swooping in 2 seconds later, and they'd just get picked off by the same person. Depp being just stuck in hell at that one round, and then Polvi not realizing it, just getting domed by him at the end. Like, things like that, that needs to be tightened up for both of these teams.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a really good showing from both teams, starting off the stage 1. But you're right, there are some mistakes that are very fixable, and we want to see that kind of tighten up, cleaned up for ZETA Division, so you don't rely just on Depp's crazy 3-4 case to change that momentum around. And we also had some really critical timeouts called by each respective coaches, so I think they have a lot of good ideas here.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams had a very solid approach to, especially this last map. I mean, clearly, Global, everything to do when it comes down to a lot of prep to be done to try to get themselves up to a playable level with that map. But same could be said for ZETA a bit more over on Icebox, where they continue to have a rough time. This was a lot more of an even match between these two squads, and I think that both teams came in with decent game plans, and ZETA were just able to be a little bit more clutch, have some slightly
that we saw on mid, where it just didn't work out for Global Esports, and ZETA Division was able to sniff it out very quickly. So these kind of situations, really, or those kind of quick adaptations, really helped out ZETA and just, you know, evening out this entire series and, you know, this third map.
And look at how close these post-plant situations are. I mean, again, we just keep emphasizing this. This was not, I mean, we had our predictions, right? But I think a lot of us, maybe not me, but a lot of us thought it was going to be a 2-0. So I'm really glad to see this kind of performance here.
Yeah, you know, again, I think the rebound from Global, it shows a lot about the ability of the players to be able to just reset their mental, because getting dominated 13-1, that's not something that feels good at all. So be able to bounce back, be able to take away your map pick in Icebox and extend this series all the way to distance, and then again play a relatively close final map. I think that is a good showing for them, but it's unfortunately not the win that they're looking for. With this win here, that means that ZETA are now 3-0 over Global this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty pretty tough stat to go up against. But you know what? We've seen odds overcome all the time here in Pacific. And then we're now looking at the board for 2 MVPs, Russ and Laz. You know, we were talking about a bit about the performance, having a debate between who's the MVP here of ZETA, Depp or Laz.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue both of them, honestly, because again, Depp, he's the multi-kill king. He's basically throw into a site, he'll give you the entirety of it, but then Laz just has these moments where I know where you're going to be pushing at. I'm going to get these kills myself, and then he just also explodes. So both of them did really good this entire series.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me that kind of tipped Laz into the heavier favorite for myself is just that he was so consistent throughout this. I mean, started things off on that chamber, had incredible impact with the headhunters and whatnot. The ops were a little bit rough for him at the beginning on Sunset, but everything else about his play was just so damn clean. He only died a handful of times on that opening map. And then we saw, you know, similar scenes from him on Icebox, some really nice early picks coming through. And then here on Ascent especially, just looking so very comfortable, whereas Depp was, you know, the highs are high, but we were seeing a little bit more inconsistency from him, whereas Laz was just this steady tempo, this steady impact and value that's being found for the squad.
And if I could just add as well, real quick, I think, like, I remember from kickoff when, you know, he was only playing the Cypher as well as the Killjoy, he wasn't really setting up for himself as a Sentinel, but this time you kind of see, you know, on Ascent, he'd have his turret right in front of him, he's going to play there, no one from Global Esports expects it, he gets a kill. So these kind of things just showcase how much more he's comfortable playing away from the chamber, even though he's an amazing chamber himself.
Now, we don't have time to go through a whole power ranking or tier list here, but based on what we've seen today, the very first day of Stage 1, how do these two teams sit in the overall for you? Has it changed in your mind?
Not really. I mean, I think, again, Global, like I said, coming into this, I don't think that this was like a very clear-cut decision to go for one team over the other. I still favored ZETA just given the historical matchups and whatnot, and that kind of just remains for me. I think that Global still showed that, like, they can be a team that competes. They can, they do come up with some very solid ideas, and there is a lot of firepower on this squad. It's really just about aligning it all to be able to maximize the output of it. Whereas ZETA, we know that this is a team that can just immediately peak, jump way up to the top and contend with everybody, but then also fall back and have some rough games against teams that you might not anticipate. So I think that widely, they kind of remain exactly where they were for me after kickoff.
Yeah.
How about you, SRA?
I mean, everybody's improving, right? We see how much global esports have really put into figuring out some of the maps here. Some of them not so much yet. It's a improving process, but then ZETA just also did the same thing, and so it's kind of gone like that. If I could just like physically move.
Yeah,
it
they're
from the
moving in
scale.
parallel
Yeah.
alongside each other.
So they both get a star.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
both like thumbs up and a star, and they both been doing really well. Now we were discussing about the rookies a bit, especially you, SRA. You know, you were observing Hiroron a little bit, and do you have any, I guess, thoughts you want to share from backstage here?
I think he's on a level where he's trying to do so many things on his role that sometimes he just misses those slight fundamentals, right? He sometimes forgets to check this angle. He sometimes forgets that he has to hold this certain position so that they don't lose that map control. So these these tiny bits for Hiroron costed some pretty crucial rounds here for ZETA Division.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the KO is something that still is just going to take some more iterations for him to really get the handle of and have it feel like a natural agent pick for him. Looks like right now it's still just a little bit rough, but that's something that's, you know, obviously going to come with time.
Yeah.
Well, we are getting ready for our interview with today's MVP from ZETA Division, and I'm just really glad, first of all, I have to say, I'm really glad to see Chamber back, and I hope to see more of him this stage one. With that, let's go over to the stage with Jen and ZETA Division's MVP.
Thank you guys, and here we have ZETA Division with the W on the board after their victory against Global Esports. Now I'm standing here with Laz for a quick post-match interview, and of course fans are already sending so much love to Laz. But Laz, congratulations. Now I want to start with Sunset. 13-1, you completely demolished Global Esports. Dap on Phoenix, and you back on the Chamber. So talk to me about why this change came through.
まずは、優勝おめでとうございます。3セットが、13対1でかなり、大差をつけた試合となりました。で、デップ選手がフェニックスだったり、ラズさんがチェンバだったりと構成に変化があったと思うんですけど、どういった意図で変更になりますか？
はい、まあいろいろ試していく中で、この構成、この組み合わせでいくのが一番強いかなっていうのをチームで話し合って、今回、大会で出せたっていう感じです。で、まあ個人的にはこの大会でチェンバーを出したっていうのがすごく嬉しく思ってます。
We tried a lot of different comps during our practices, and we figured that the new comp that we did on Sunset was the best choice that we made. Personally, I'm glad that I get to play Chamber again at the tournaments.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we love seeing you back on the Chamber. Do you feel like there's extra confidence and extra oomph when you're running this agent yourself? And will we get to see more of that Chamber on different maps?
我々ファンのみんなも、ラズさんのチェンバーを見れるっていうのがとても喜んでると思うんですけれども、ラズさんがチェンバーをやってる時になんか特別自信があったり、なんか気合が入るような運気があったりします。あとまたもっとチェンバー見れますか？
そうですね、まあやっぱ他のセンチネルのエージェントよりはアグレッシブなんで、普段より打ち合いが増えて、で個人的にやっぱりこういうスタイルが自分に一番合ってるので、気合も入りますね。もう自然と入る感じがします。で、他のマップで見れるかどうかはちょっと今は詳しくは言えないんですけど、他のマップが出た時にお楽しみっていう感じですか。
Yeah, so compared to other Sentinels, Chamber is a little more aggressive. So I do feel that I'm a bit more aggressive. I feel more into the character and the agent when I'm playing Chamber. And regarding the other maps, you'll just have to wait and see.
All right, we'll just have to wait and see. Just briefly, I want to talk about Icebox as well, because I feel like that was your only struggle today. What do you think went wrong, and what do you think made it tricky?
今日のアイスボックスについてちょっと苦戦している印象だったんですけれども、何が問題で何が原因で結構なかなか思い通りにいかなかったのかなと感じますか？
そうですね、なんだろう、簡単に言えばもちろん相手にうまく対応できなかったっていうのが大きいと思ってます。でそれも結構普段の練習相手とかと戦い方がかなり違くて、攻め方、戦い方をされたのはかなり久しぶりというか初めてレベルかな。で光線も初めて見るようなもんだし、 で大会の場で今まで対応したことがないようなことをやるっていうことで、ほとんど初めてみたいなものだったんで、そこで苦戦したかなと思ってますけど、次はすぐ良くなると思ってます。
So to say that simply, we couldn't adjust to what they were doing to us, and they're a completely different team from the usual teams that we practice against. And there was a lot of first times. Seeing their comp was the first time. The way they play the game was the first time, especially on Icebox. So it's something that we really see at the tournament circumstance. So I think we'll be able to fix it by the next time we go against GE. But yeah, it was a lot of surprises.
The stylistic difference kind of caught you off guard. But yeah, congratulations once again, Laz. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this interview. So best of luck in your next match, and I'm gonna toss it off to a short break, but don't go anywhere because after this break we have Team Secret taking on DRX.
I just want you to be more patient because these guys just play contact. So
Okay, Team Secret, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
alright, let's go.
Tara, let's go, let's go.
Tara, tara. Let's go, let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Tachiグループ100周年。私たちは愛する立川にかつてないワクワクや感動に出会う場所を作ってきました。そして今大きな夢の実現に挑戦しています。立川と世界を文化、芸術、スポーツでつなぐ。私たちが愛する立川を世界に愛される都市に。立川と世界をつなぐ立飛グループ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Pacific Stage 1. ZETA moves on up, being the first to gain 1 championship point.
Woo!
Woo! Exciting. Points are being given out, handed out to all the teams here. That was a rather exciting game, though. It was a result that not many of us could have foreseen. But we're going to go over to an interview with Team Secret for our next match.
Secret room. Now, Envy, I'm going to talk to you a little bit, give you a little spin. Now, you guys are going up against a new iteration of DRX. Your thoughts?
I think they would have like no practice, but I think the player they got is still pretty good, so I think it'll be a very close match.
Who's winning then?
Still us, but it will be a close match.
All right, well, good luck today, and I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Wow, I'm watching you.
She's her eyes on Envy, the guy who likes Clove. Well, Asterai, Team Secret's lineup, not much has changed, and they started coming in stronger by the end of kickoff. Who should we be on the lookout for on this roster?
Definitely Jesse Vash and Envy. And it's because of the reason that they are the players that activate the other players of Team Secret.
All right, we're going to dig more into this later. DRX is ready for their interview with Jen.
Bane, I'm gonna steal you for a minute. Today's the day you've been dreaming of. How do you feel?
I'm feeling panda now.
You're feeling panda? But what does that even mean?
What does it mean? The panda. Poor Jen. She's just running all over the place.
Yeah, not really giving her much to go off of there, but I don't know. We will, we'll see, I suppose.
Now, a lot of shuffling around for the DRX roster since we last saw them in February. Now, with this roster, the question is, with Bane in, who's playing what role?
Yeah, okay, so for those who don't know, Bane, this is a guy who has been in the DRX system for quite some time. He has been in their, kind of academy, their trainee team for a very long time. And then has been loaned out and has played on a multitude of different teams. Was playing on F4Q and Korean Challengers, went over to China for a bit as well to play with All Gamers before. So, he's been around the block, he's been in the scene for a very long time, and he's finally being called up to the main team by DRX. This guy typically does play Duelist, he's quite good at it. But it's a question, as you say, of who is going to be playing what. Do we see him stepping into playing Duelist over the likes of Buzz? Is DRX going to lean into more double Duelist setups, similar to what we see from Paper Rex and whatnot? There's a couple different things that they could do. I think that DRX is probably just going to end up doing the DRX thing, which is take a guy who's very good at playing Duelist and then make him play something else and make him good at that.
What do you make of that, Asterai? I know you're not as biased, should I say, towards the DRX?
Yeah, but at least from my experience, watching this team as well, remember how they brought in Foxy9 and they were just like pretty good with with that kind of adaptation. So not PaperX, but DRX.
Like the graphic we're seeing here, this one is surely hard to predict. Team Secret was the very first Pacific team to defeat DRX, and that was last year. What's the secret sauce, Asterai? What is it that, gives them these moments?
So, the lore that...
what did you say?
They go A.
There's a Haven now, so what is it, Asterai?
Okay, the lore that, I've gotten when they were still in the Philippines, not going international just yet, was they do like to scrim a lot with the Korean teams. So I think it's just more of they have been, just basically diving into this type of region. They know already the ins and outs, and that's probably the reason why they just know the movements of DRX, just because they've been playing in this region for the very longest time.
That's really interesting information. You know, Team Secret scrimming a lot against the Korean teams.
I mean, yeah, it's something that you definitely want to do. It's something that a lot of teams have been doing in Asia for a while. But I got to give props to Jeremy here. I mean, granted, Team Secret, you know, they put up some really tough performances and some really great efforts in the kickoff, whereas obviously we saw DRX faltering a little bit. As far as like KD is concerned, I'm not shocked to see Buzz down below Jeremy in this metric, but the fact that Jeremy's beating him in pretty much every other one is a damn good sign here for Team Secret.
Yeah, both of these teams historically have really incredible moments. And, you know, we also have tons of data, obviously, since last year on their map win and loss percentages. In fact, we're going to go to the vetoes right now.
Here's to see where they're going to be taking this one.
Well, newest, strongest map that I would say for Secret has been, especially with Haven being removed, I think has been Split. So maybe
They have been banning Bind and not showing it, well, at least in kickoff, they weren't showing as much Split. But you're right, they have been kind of crazy on Split last year anyway, and their roster is kind of the same.
Okay, but DRX, they actually banned Icebox. And I don't necessarily blame them for that, but that leaves Sunset wide open. And DRX, I mean, they haven't played this at all, nor have Team Secret, so I'm curious if DRX expected that Secret just also would just move away from Sunset here, and that both teams would just kind of leave it, and then they could ban it in the second round. I'm very curious to see if DRX does have a very solid game plan for this map coming into it, but with their own pick, they're going to be leaning on Lotus once more, and this is something that has bit them in the rear in the past.
Yeah, I'm just loving the Sunset pickup here. For some reason, it's the first map of each and every day, which I'm a big fan of, you know.
I like that. I like seeing, you know, the newest maps or the newest agents being used or being played. I think it makes it really exciting, and I'm not surprised Breeze has gone straight through. Both of these teams have been okay on Breeze. And Sunset, this is the first time we're going to see Sunset from both of these teams this year.
Yeah, and I mean, historically, when it comes down to debuting a new map, hasn't been great for DRX. So this does have me a little bit concerned. I think they need to be so over-prepared for this, because you think about, you know, they were talking big.
अभी शुरू होने वाला है DRX versus TS और टीम सीक्रेट के बीच और फिर से और एक मैच शुरू होने वाला है, तो लोग फिर से लाइव तो करेंगे जब तक मैच खत्म नहीं हो रहा। तो आप लोग भाई प्लीज़ लाइक सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और इस टीम के साथ जुड़े रहिए। और रात को भी और एक मैच है, एक वॉच पार्टी है, तो वो भी करेंगे भाई हम लोग, देखने जरूर। तो अभी हेलो गाइस, जैसे कि आप लोग देख सकते हैं, हम लोग पहली बार फर्स्ट टाइम में भाई कर वॉच पार्टी। तो भाई गलती तो मेरे से हो ही रहा है, बहुत ही माफ़ कर दिया यार, मेरे को आता भी नहीं भाई, और मेरे पास उतना टाइम भी नहीं है भाई ये सब करने का। मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ भाई, और हम लोग इधर अभी रमज़ान चल रहा है, इसलिए थोड़ा तो समझो। अभी तो भाई नमाज़ पढ़ना बाकी है, अभी भी मैं अभी नमाज़ पढ़ने ही जाऊँगा, और मेरा माइक तो स्लो ही रहेगा। माइक से मैं कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं बस सुना रहा हूँ, आप लोग देख लेना भाई। और भाई प्लीज़ लाइक तो कर दो यार कोई, प्लीज़। तो ठीक है गाइस, मैं थोड़ी देर में यार ये इनेबल कर दूँगा। मैं अपना माइक ऑफ कर रहा हूँ भाई। मैं अपना माइक ऑफ कर रहा हूँ बेंच।
No, I mean, why do you think that there's sometimes these swings where you come in and you're so dominant when no one expects you to be, and then sometimes you're not able to get the wins where we think that you should be, you know, on top? What do you think kind of leads to that semi-inconsistency?
Yeah, I think nerves can play a little bit into it. Like you don't when we play to like not lose, that's when we play bad. But when we play to win, like if we lose versus Paper X, like Paper X is expected, like last year's Paper X, like Paper X is expected to win. It's like there's now no nerves, nothing. Like we just play our game. Whereas like maybe versus a team that we're supposed to beat, we like play to not lose the round, and we're not willing to take risks, or like we're too much in our heads. So it's just about like leveling that out. Like don't worry about it. We're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. But yeah.
Do you find that in those kinds of games, like when you're calling timeouts, it's mostly just reminding the players about that exact fact?
Yeah, a lot of times we do like most of my timeouts tend to be like, okay, like it's just a tempo. Like let's reset, breathe for a little bit, and then we can go on and fix stuff.
And I have to ask you, last year you were the only team to defeat both DRX and Paper X. Now DRX is looking a little bit different this year. A lot of changes suddenly. What are your thoughts on DRX now?
I mean, the core is still there, so they're gonna be good no matter what. As long as they have that core, they will be good. So just because they had like some roster changes last minute, I think we'll treat them with the same respect as they were previously.
Did it change up any last-second prep for you?
I mean,
the VLR
not really. not really. Just because like it's been so long to the point where you can start to phase out like anti-stratting and focus more on yourself. Like you can go back and look a little bit, but you don't want to delve too much into it just because it's been what, a month and a half, 2 months. So yeah, you don't want to rely too much on the anti-strat. Yeah, just focus on it.
Well, keep focusing on yourselves. You guys are looking good, looking good. Anyway, all the best on your upcoming match against DRX. And take care, Warbirds.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Wait, you didn't answer. Did you predict us?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll balance it out.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, this is really Achilleos' fault. They do it just to prove Achilleos wrong. We can't have them doing these kind of things.
I truly am believing. That's the thing. Like, you know, it's up to them.
I mean, they've come close so many times. LCQ last year, even this year with kickoff. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to go over to our casters, Quack and Paperthin, for this highly anticipated match.
Thank you very much, Victoria, Achilleos, and Asura. Yeah, it's a big match. It's a big one, but the predictions have seemed to swing all over the place. Meanwhile, taking a look at the map picks, this is just kind of interesting, the fact that we're starting things out on Sunset.
Yeah, no idea what to expect here from either side. I've never played it, so it's fun coming into a match when you just get to kind of experience it, right? You get to see this for the first time, see what both teams are thinking coming into a new map. I think they're both going to have very good ideas on this map, frankly. I think it will probably be decently contested. Lotus for DRX, again, kind of up and down for them, as Achilleos mentioned on the desk. Breeze as the decider, can come down to a bit of an aim dually map, which has me a little bit concerned for DRX because by the end of kickoff, Team Secret was really popping. I mean, Jeremy in particular started to look phenomenal on the duelist. NDG got his nervousness out of him. He started playing great. Envy is Envy. He's always strong. Jesse Vash had some big moments. So, like, the whole team, even Borkham had some good moments. So, like, I'm really... Sorry, Achilleos gave me a look, and it made me I'm really, really keen to see if we can get to that third map and how their relative firepower will shake up, because Bane's not a bad player at all. Like, he's been on the DRX prospect team before. He's been able to compete against, like, in fact, when he was on that prospect team, they actually played against the ZETA prospect team, which had Hirorod and Yuran on it, and they beat them. That was quite a while ago, but he's a very good player, but mostly known for his duelist. So that kind of leaves an interesting question here. Where do you slot him? Sentinels are oftentimes, like, the easiest role to kind of shift into for duelists. You can just throw him on the KJ. KJ's, let's be honest, not the hardest champ. Yeah, not the hardest agent to play in the game. So, but with such little time to prepare for a team like DRX, which is usually kind of prep heavy.
Right.
What's this going to look like?
That's the scariest thing. I mean, that's what we are going to be focusing on for this entire matchup is, can DRX, prepare to defend their title? They've been the strongest. They've been the giants. Stax said, I always go to these events.
He did. He did say that. And I told him, not yet, bro. Not yet.
Not this time.
Not this time. Not this time. Or nope.
So, I mean, that's the thing, you know, will they still be as strong as they've been before, you know, even with, you know, a prospect player joining their current roster? Or will Team Secret start to go up on this upwards trajectory? Will Team Secret improve and suddenly be the team that takes down DRX again?
I think they really can. I really, really like.
You're not just jinxing them.
No,
Not like
no,
Achilles.
I'm the opposite of that. I'm the opposite of that. My predictions are generally better than most, although Achilles is usually right there with me. But, but I really think that right now the form that Team Secret showed at the end of kickoff, really pushing Gen G, that this should still be the favorite team here. I even think I would have picked Team Secret if Flashback was still in the lineup. So I'm very confident in this team right now. I really like the way that they started to play together. Their ideas got really good. They were able to weather some rough maps like Warbirds was talking about. And if they don't get off to those rough starts, then that's got to be scary for DRX, because you know that might be one of those win conditions you're looking at. You get somebody like Buzz or Mako to really start popping off early, and I think it's a bit of an uphill battle. I'll be honest, Bane is good. He's been on other teams like F4Q and Maru.
Sure.
Of course, he was over in China for a little while on All Gamers, but always playing Duelist. So the real question is how do you ship Buzz off a Duelist? You probably don't. He's too good at it.
And you got Foxy9 as well, yeah. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a bit of a thinker, this one, but you know, it's DRX. They are kind of like the pride of Korea, which is the country we are in. So they're definitely going to give it their all. We will see how they might shape up, especially as Stage 1 continues to proceed. But for now, I mean, let's just see how things start off. You know, we're starting things on a blank slate again. Sunset, never seen neither team play on this one. We've never seen any compositions that they run. How will it shape up? How will it go? I guess we're going to find out.
I mean, my guess is that both teams run pretty similar comps. Again, this is a really good point that Atsurai was bringing up, that Team Secret has scrimmed a lot against Korean teams in the past, so I think they have generally very similar ideas on how to play a map, and they're not too far off here. Some changes. It is the double initiator for Team Secret, yeah, versus the Fade only. Just stacks on the Fade for initiator. Otherwise, you have a Viper for Mako. Only one true smokes in Borkum, but of course the Cypher can provide a little bit of extra smokage for your team.
Sure, on Sunset, especially if they're starting things out on defense, this composition, you know, might give them some ways to deal with, like Buzz, for example, especially if NDG has to write trips. But apart from that, curiously enough, you're talking about, you know, Bane, or we've all seen Bane being a duelist. They put him on the Omen. So
I mean, that is essentially another one of those agents that duelists can easily shift into, right? I mean, everybody is thinking about Tens in that role, right?
Sure,
As he went over to the Omen for Sentinels and was able to take Masters Madrid on that.
Maybe
so
eventually
it plays a bit like a duelist because of the TPs, and the paranoia, right? So
that'd be interesting if Bane plays Clove, huh?
I would like that. I think Clove is really good, really, really good. I think a lot of people are underestimating Clove. If I'm being perfectly honest. Like I think there's potential there, and I would not be surprised if a team like DRX decides to go with it.
For sure, yeah. I feel like they definitely will, given the agent's toolkit. But for now, again, I mean, just back into it. Both teams looking ready to go. The compositions-wise, you know, it's a double controller. Can DRX really make use of it to kind of, you know, go in for their classic, like, executes to break into sight? We've seen it before on, you know, other maps before, especially when they did it on Icebox.
Yeah, that's the real question for me. Part of the whole DRX equation is a team well known for their executes. Is that going to be something that I can see it going two ways? Either they're going to lean heavy into that because of the lack of time, where that's something that we're just going to make some really good executes, and you know, use Bane as a paranoia machine, essentially. You know, with a few smokes in there too.
Smoke
of course.
machine.
Yeah. And if I had to go based on history, yeah, I'd probably say they're going to go execute heavy. But I don't know. You could convince me either way, to be perfectly honest. I mean, obviously the defender side to start, I think, for them, but you know, it's so hard to predict.
Yeah.
Is the real truth of it.
We don't have enough data on either of these.
No, and now we are on a map, right, that we've never seen from either team as well, to make things even more complicated.
a lot of question marks in our minds, but the fans are definitely just rooting for them nonetheless, especially, you know, for Buzz and whatnot. And that's just it. You know, can DRX continue forward?
This sign says if you win, I'll buy the DRX team capsule.
Only if they only if they win.
Only if they win.
You know,
man, that's
what
pressure.
I've seen is people tweeting at the players and like, you know, whoever wishes me a happy birthday first.
Yeah.
That's the one I'll buy.
Whoever, yeah, just clout farming to get capsules. Amazing.
There we go.
Well done, social media.
It's the head of marketing. That's
you've really outdone yourself. Yeah, he has taken over the marketing for Sentinels. That's for sure. Well, so yeah, Team Secret on the defender side. Actually, no, it is DRX on the attacker side. My mistake. So this is where we're going to see about these ideas. If it is going to be a little bit execute heavy for DRX, or if they're just going to kind of try to rely on trades and a little bit of teamwork to get in there. Smoke out to mid early. A couple pieces of utility thrown into mid and B main to see if there's anybody around, but a pretty aggressive push from Team Secret. Trapwire was there for DRX, so they know there's going to be somebody potentially nipping at their heels. Yes, Mako will wait, but he isn't going to be watching the spawn angle, expecting potentially that they might go through, but the timing good for him. Let's see if they can get through this defensive setup of NDG.
Pretty incredible that Team Secret are pushing in for that big old flank. Bash able to step back and walk away from that boombot for now. Although DRX gets the spike plant, they have no idea that they are being completely surrounded.
And they have to clear this back angle. They have to clear this.
Oh, they're completely pigeonholed into B main. I mean, look at this. Easy pickings for Borkum right now as he gets up a double. Foxy and Mako a bit of a trade, but as they go back into it, Vash leaves himself exposed as he tries to go in for that spike defuse. Simple shot for Stacks. DRX picks up the pistol.
It was not easy at all for DRX. Pretty good ideas here from Team Secret. Send in 4 for the crunch, and then just leave Jesse to try to stick the defuse. It just didn't quite work. It was very, very close to working. They were just that extra gun might have made the difference. If Jesse was involved, I don't know. But it's spicy for sure. And again, DRX with some good diligence with those trapwire placements from Foxy9, keeping their heads in the game for sure. Now on the eco, push for the orb, be able to feed it over to Envy, build towards those rolling thunders. Stacks already well on his way to a nightfall. Only 3 orbs out already. Could pick up definitely a couple more kills in this round, but DRX really taking things slow, really taking their time.
Yeah.
Worried because it has to be in the back of your mind after that first round that Team Secret is willing to get aggressive on this defender side.
They actually, contrary to what we thought, you know, they're not going to go for that default-ish. They're going to work together as a team and really work their way in carefully, you know, methodically, meandering, clearing out every single bit of utility, every corner. And then now coming into it,
Buzz.
Again, once more, they are surrounded. The paint shells almost tagged them up.
Taking a ton of damage.
But they're still able to secure the site. And as it comes down into it, only 1 kill secure, 1 gun stolen away by Team Secret. DRX makes it safely into the 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of damage taken, but not many kills found, so DRX able to stave off death. Foxy9, 4-0 to start. Having some huge impact with that rifle. Oh my word, that is pretty nasty there, Foxy.
Nice.
Pretty interesting, like sticking him, you know, before when he was on that duelist, he would run amok, and I kind of think Stacks might not have enjoyed that too much. They want to, you know, get him to play with the team more. If he's on a Cypher and he doesn't have that mobility, he has to play with the team regardless.
That's true. And that's, I mean, I think it's been a pretty good shift for Foxy9. He's had reasonable amounts of success. It maybe isn't what you want entirely, but overall, you know, got to be feeling like maybe there's a little pressure on him as well. A good fault line. Back Mako off, but tripwire gives him enough room to back up, and the crossfire's great.
Still, that's DRX a fold. With that, it's good punish. 3 players left on the side of Team Secret. DRX might just be able to pick up the bonus.
pretty well looking that way, and with that toxic screen set up towards A. Yeah, NDG's getting too far ahead of himself.
My ultimate is ready. Cage
Very
trigger.
simple burst from Foxy 9 will do the
I
trick.
know
Got
exactly
our
where
ultimates.
you are.
Eurostep coming underway. 40 seconds left. Now, whichever site they decide to go towards, they'll have numbers advantage. And a lot going in for them. As long as they don't get stabbed in the back somehow, DRX should pick up
30
this round.
seconds left.
It's full upgrade on rifles, though. The back of those early picks. So the discipline paying dividends. Jesse Vash, though, takes down Foxy.
Spike planted. Last player
Fade
standing.
picks up Jesse Vash. Envy with a bit of a sneaky hop up, catches onto Buzz, tries to, reroute his pathing in towards Market. But nah,
he's got to think about a save. There's just not much left to be done.
Precisely. Even with the utility. And you're never quite sure where these DRX players could be positioned on the site. There could be a crossfire on the other side of Market too.
Where are you?
Especially if they play around Pillar. So he's not going to want to get too courageous in this moment. Opting for the save, DRX picks up the bonus.
It would not surprise me at all to see Bane TP up on top of that box and Market at least once, just because Tens does it all the time. And like, all the players, in the world, and especially here, have a lot of respect for Tens, the way he plays. So it's got to be in your mind the way he's able to punish people right there on top of that pillar in there. And it really just, so what we're seeing from DRX so far, Quack, is that they're playing patient. They're kind of deathballing. It's not exactly execute heavy. It's more that they're just expecting aggression from Team Secret, and 2 times out of 3, they've been right. So now I think definitely, Warbirds is probably going to tell them to pump the brakes a little bit, play a little bit, or it's a tech pause. I thought this was going to be a timeout.
I was not going to say anything, seeing this is our first day and everything, but all right, here it comes, tech pause. Welcome to the Ham Quack Paper Thin podcast.
I was gonna ask you if you're feeling Panda today.
Panda?
Yeah, when Bane earlier during the interview, the arrival interview, he said, Jen asked him how he was feeling. He just said, "I'm feeling Panda," and held up.
Like, what does that mean? Yeah.
I know. That's what she said. Nobody knows. Maybe you're feeling lethargic and hungry for bamboo. I don't know. I mean, bamboo's actually pretty delicious.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But yeah, I mean, thinking about the game, that's precisely like you said. DRX is going for that slow but steady style, and as long as they, gain control versus certain areas, they're prepared enough. They can go in for their executes. They can secure the sites pretty much freely. Team Secret, on the other hand, also a bit prep heavy, relying on a lot of counter strats and anti-strats. If it's a map like Sunset where they haven't encountered any of this before, they're gonna have to adapt on the fly.
Oh my god, this fast hit from Jeremy. He's going ham.
DRX just completely evades it. Buzz making a quick push in towards the B site. Team Secret still playing it safe.
Able to get the plant down. Very similar to the last eco.
Planted.
In a lot of ways. Team Secret's gonna have all 5 members, but this time around not nearly as much damage. Stack's still sitting on a Nightfall in case things look a little bit difficult. Again, when you're in this B main area, so difficult to defuse.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Face
your going for fear. It's gonna connect onto all of them. Paranoia's out too. He's trying to go for some blind sprays, but Jeremy keeps them at bay with his interesting angle. Good fault line from Envy as well. Borkum starts to stick the defuse. Mako able to spray all of them down. It is just one heck of a firing squad.
Yeah, I mean, DRX seems to be making all the right decisions to avoid any of this early contact play that Team Secret's trying to go for. This is an eco, so whatever. Not as really impactful. But jeez, Foxy. Foxy
crowd loves it.
Going absolutely nuts right now.
Shots through.
There's the timeout. Now for realsies.
Yeah, now that they got to buy up. That's what I'm thinking about. Like, I mean, for the past 4 rounds now, you know, we saw this from Team Secret last year where they just repeatedly went to A side, especially on Haven, but that's not in rotation anymore. DRX are repeatedly heading into B.
Yep.
And they've just pretty much been doing the same things. Plant out in the open, double back into B main, make it a firing range.
Yeah, and it's part of the nice part about having a fade in there is you have a lot of ability to clear some of those close angles of where a Cypher or utility or player
Prowler through, yeah.
Exactly. And so I think definitely that's got to be part of the idea behind that. Is stacks on that fade is maybe going to be a little more impactful on this side of the map versus A. And if you can kind of disrupt NDG, keep him off balance, and make it a retake heavy idea for Team Secret, you know, if you have that B main control, it's so difficult to undo it. It reminds me of, you know, some of the other sites like, you know, Bind B or something like that, where it's really, really challenging if you're able to get comfortable to deal with it. And you can see every round they've got that trip there as well, right outside of the B main door. This time around it's going to get cleared though, I believe.
Okay. Try and make some plays around the smokes. Bus just satchels in though, along with the Moonbot, gets a bit more information, but some sprays coming through Jesse Vash from inside of the dark cover.
Oh.
Not something that DRX expected. Pushes out, gets one more tap onto Bane as well. Rookie does not expect it whatsoever. A is suddenly no longer a viable option, along with the operator sounding off. Mako has quite an impossible task ahead of him.
Yeah, this is near impossible. I mean, yeah, he can get the spike. He's got a time. He could, you know, go to the other side of the map, but he's going to be walking into death. Yeah, as soon as that poison cloud ran out, he was just done. They knew exactly where he was. Good job here by Team Secret. A good recovery, and you can see why the A site maybe not, you know, where they're really comfortable going. You got to try a change up, so you got to go for something a little different, make them respect it. But great plays here by Jesse, really crispy. That third kill in particular.
I think that was the big things too. I mean, apart from third kill, hiding inside of the smoke, reading the movements.
I think Jesse, I wanted to see this. I think he has a shock dart lineup to clear this trip outside of B main. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's going for.
Scanning ahead.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Deploying.
I saw it in the last round. I saw it get cleared on the map, and I'm like, Jesse has a lineup for this. Love to see it.
Oh wow, Hunter's Fury as well. Actually catches Buzz for a second. Not quite the final beam though.
Tried to get a little help on the ping from NDG to try to get that final Hunter's Fury to go, but it's not quite there. Envy one away from the Rolling Thunder though, Quack. They got it. They got the orb.
Very big tool. DRX slowly doubling back in towards B. This time a bit more of a split push. Jesse Vash traded out. Stacks now peeking outside of market. Trying to soften up the site, soften up some of these blows. The rest of the team now looking in for that spike plant. It is that retakes game, but like you mentioned, Paperthin, it is that Rolling Thunder available. Man, oh man. Okay, fired off. Has to push out now. Borkum trying to provide some additional support. Paranoia, although it does connect, timing a little bit off. Able to take down Mako, but it's a one-on-one versus Bane, where Borkum has low HP. Needs the headshot to seal the deal. Playing around the smoke. Just right up around the edge. Oh, with the weaponry though, it's just nothing but a dink. Bane secures it. And with that, DRX back in the lead.
It was so close, he got the headshot, but he was just outside of the insta-kill range with the Phantom. And Mako steady as ever. Foxy doing a great job here on point. These crossfires have been brutal that DRX is able to find, whether it's the crunch from B main and market, setting up outside of Boba, making things really, really difficult for Team Secret. This is the problem, like, if you get into retakes against DRX, very few teams can find a lot of success breaking them. They're so well disciplined, no matter who's playing for them. This is something Termi has done well since he's been around.
Ever, yeah.
Yes.
Vision Strikers days.
Yes. He's good at getting people into crossfires, into post plants, being patient and disciplined with their utility usually. And you're seeing it on full display here on Sunset.
It's just playing like textbook Valorant to a T, making use of all your utilities. Once you get the sights, they know how to hold those chokes, and they don't let their opponents go through. Team Secret now back onto a bit of a half buy and just trying to get a feel for things, holding some positions, not quite able to catch anything though.
Yeah, wise of Jeremy to get out of there quickly with his blast packs. After that Prowler, DRX is looking to set up a play. Not able to find it, so good discipline from Team Secret. And now the entire force of DRX is shifting over towards the A site. Getting ready. And Jeremy! Jeremy!
Okay, 2 taps.
30 seconds
Bane
left.
thankfully trades it right back. This is not a round that DRX should be losing, but some individual heroics, and all of a sudden you might be looking at tables turned upside down. Invi now with the Guardian, taps away. All that's left is going to be Buzz. Borka makes it a trade, and this round that should not have been won was just taken over by Team Secret.
Yeah, and it's just the good patience now from Team Secret. You're seeing that they're being a little less aggressive on some of those moments, and it works a treat. That is a snappy shot. That first one was
at the fault
really
line from
good.
Invi as well. That's good reads.
Very good stuff.
Nice! Let's go, boys!
That one got Invi fired up. And you know, you heard Warbirds talk about it in the pre-match interview, right, where he was saying we need to not get off to a slow start. And if they could turn it around right here, right now, if they could string a few more rounds together, then you've mostly averted that crisis. It was only a minor crisis this time, if they can find their footing. So you do have a showstopper, you do have the neural theft, you got Borkum's TP, you got a lot to play with, but Mako and Buzz only one away from their ults as well, so team's going to be looking to see if they can steamroll some of these ults into a win. And DRX doesn't like what they see. Gonna go on a little bit of an explore. Got some good coverage in mid. Could be a little bit of a duel for Foxy coming up, as he had to go down to just the Sheriff. They're gonna stack up.
Same movements, yeah. Stacking up, trying to get a good feel for things, but wow, NDG with the positioning up around market. The trip enabled him to wallbang down onto another player. And then, of course, Jeremy coming in to support as well. Setups coming in from Team Secret denies DRX the entry. B is no longer, a viable option.
Yeah, the spike's down in market, too, to make matters worse, so great setup there from NDG. The Wire working a treat, his positioning able to avoid the Prowler. Now they're going to body block it because of the TP. This is very, very smart. This is something that I think I've only ever seen one other time in Valorant history, where you have to stack up players on top of the spike to make sure that the Omen can't TP on it and grab it.
I don't think they're going to go for it either. Just a bit of a save. That's what DRX is going to do for now. 2-on-4 still a little bit tough, even if they do get that spike planted. Perhaps with Mako's Viper Spit it might have been different, but yeah, given the body block, no way that round was going to be DRX's.
Yeah, fantastic awareness from Team Secret. And yep, counter timeout, right?
Incredible.
Should be, I believe. Okay, good. I was worried that was not going to be a countdown, and it was going to say 2 words that I will not mention. Remain unspoken.
Do not, yes. Words that shall not be named. But yeah, I mean, this is also a little bit interesting because, again, this is not something that Termi did really often last year. Right? DRX just often having a good time and being very much in control of things. But now this year, especially with the roster being shuffled around so much, they look a little bit lost. Termi has to intervene, give them some instruction.
Yeah, and it's just, the way that Team Secret is now absorbing the initial contact of DRX. They aren't kind of getting too overextended. They aren't getting trapped in some of these crossfires that DRX was able to find earlier. Now they're forcing DRX to get into bad positions where they're able to punish them either with utility or their own just phenomenal shots like we saw with Jeremy with that Sheriff play. Things like that. So now is DRX. Now you got to try something different. What you came into the map with, that kind of death ball-y style where they were just sort of working the map, kind of anticipating some of that pressure is no longer going to be there. So now you got to make a change. Let's see exactly what it looks like. Looks like they're kind of spreading things just a little bit. Mako again, going to be on A main duty, making sure that there's no lurks that are going to be attempted by Team Secret. So they are going to be drifting in this direction.
Going out. Okay. Smokes though, they are good. Some counters coming up now, and it just calls for the signal to spray through. Buzz managed to capitalize on that to punish down on towards Envy. So a bit of a TP away, and Borkum tries to stay alive, but still, how long can you really keep yourself alive if DRX is trying to pull out a bit of a split? Buzz trying to go in for this quick 180. Doesn't quite go through. Jeremy, even with a showstopper, gets shut down mid-air by Mako. Stacks now coming back into it too. And all that's left is none other than NDG. Tries to walk up. Toxic screen down allows him to creep forward. But again, look at the positioning, the crossfires. Stacks can easily wrap back around elbow, and NDG would be none the wiser. Able to get the spray down though. Only for the first.
Yeah, I got caught by that vulnerable. A little bit easier to find the kill. This is a pretty interesting start. I don't mind at all what Team Secret does here, where the smokes come up and they just kind of let loose. Oh, there's just enough of a gap there. But Borkum does a great job here behind Jen. Getting 2 kills.
Nice.
Jesse tries to step in, just couldn't find the spray in time to take down his opponent. And then Mako is Mako. You know he's always good for one.
If that showstopper would have ripped off, you know, it might have been a different story, but that's the shot. So back into it, A main again. Initial contact. Not really feeling all too much, but still watching in case there are potential lurks or potential sneaky players pushing through.
Grenade!
Oh, it is going to be some smokes put down into mid. And pings coming down already from Team Secret, so they're reasonably aware of this attempted pressure. Jeremy, only one to initially take contact, and he's shot right down by Buzz.
That's that Jing peek. Satchel into the kill. Off of it, onto the next. Buzz is looking to tear this round up. Paint Shells lands right on the dot too. 2 players left, and they're probably going to go in for that save. I mean, the pathing and everything, the reads, just trying to condition Team Secret to focus a lot of their resources into this A main position, and then doubling back into B.
Yeah, this is Buzz's round. I mean, the way he anticipates these positions of his opponents is so good, and then the immediate grenade to counter the Boba push from Jesse, the icing on the cake there.
That's the thing about DRX. I mean, you might have some of these new players, but the greats, I mean, Buzz, Stacks, Mako, you can always expect a lot out of them.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And that's, you know, again, been why they've been at so many international events, why they're constantly talked about, why people kind of scratch your heads a little bit if you predict against them. You know, it's just, they have been really good for a long time. I just was so impressed with Team Secret. A little bit of a laugh there from Buzz, and he's getting them fired up as well. Wants to see if they can string a few more together, make this attacker side really powerful. You do have that Rolling Thunder again for Envy, something to worry about here as DRX. They're waiting to see if there's a big hit.
A really good position to set Jeremy up as well.
Exactly. But if Mako can get that Viper's pit down, could be a lot trickier for Team Secret to play retake on.
Incredible, okay. So they know that there's some players on the other side of B main. Bubot goes out. There was Paranoia as well. Thought they were going to try to maybe sell a bit of a fake double back into A, but
I think you're exactly right. I think initially here DRX was considering just kind of double pumping and just holding at B and waiting it out a little bit, see if they could get some rotates, but Stacks for whatever reason, thinks, okay, well, maybe A is going to be the better option. You know, we've got enough attention over there. We really don't have a lot of information. Maybe it is still going to be a B hit. They've got to worry about mid, and smokes are up, and the door is down.
As soon as they break the door, though, look at this, the
30 seconds
instant response from Team Secret. They've got to watch market. Oh, there's that perfect rolling thunder, but Buzz shuts it down with a shorty. It'd be a good double spray, but then Mako comes back in for the trade. Buzz tagged down 8 HP from the shadows, denied, and Borkum is here and ready to play. And DG just stays tucked away in the corner. 10 seconds left. Mako and Bane have to shoot their way out of this one, and they managed to do it. Borkum not quite arriving on time. Mako invests the Viper's Pit to secure this round indefinitely. How's Borkum going to work his way around this? Bit of a dark cover. Good peek into it. But again, Crossfire, two-player setup right in front of him. Impossible round, virtually impossible for Borkum to work his way out of.
Oh, that's so hard as an Omen player. You just don't really have much to work with, you know, especially if you don't have a paranoia. It's near impossible. Love the idea here from Team Secret, but the counter reaction from Buzz, once again, so strong. Having the wherewithal to immediately switch to that shorty, that push on the back of it.
Incredible, yeah.
That goes there.
So
Fire
smart.
rate affected, like, doesn't matter. I'll just use shorty. One pump, that's it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, you don't need to be, it doesn't matter if you're stunned or not with that thing. Like, you just got to get him close enough.
Incredible.
And now ults, again, cycling well for DRX.
Okay.
Judge, though.
Nightfall execute. Oh, wait, didn't connect? And it allows for Jesse, Vash, and NDG to walk away with a bit of a steal. Stacks and Foxy9 thankfully trade back up, though. That was a little bit odd. But nonetheless, here comes Team Secret with a bit of a retake attempt. Good double peeks out. Envy managing to trade for Jeremy. 2-on-2. Sneaking back up around the pillar. Stacks comes up from behind. Mako able to hold his own as well. Once again, the mainstays of DRX stay consistent throughout this first half.
This is very impressive. Again, you know, Bane hasn't had to do a ton on the Omen, but again, Omen can be pretty flexible as long as you kind of have the right smokes at the right time and you've got some good paranoias. You know, you're getting a lot of value for your team. Bane's had a couple of nice kills, but this is a team effort. Foxy popped off early, then Buzz showed up. Had some good moments from Mako and Stacks and everybody. So this is a team effort, and you've got to be really impressed with what DRX has done so far. The map, you've never seen it from both teams, but never seen it from them. And on top of that, you know, having to switch out a player on short notice, you just got to like what you're seeing. And again, this is where Termi, I think, really shines, is he does a good job with new talent, with young talent. I think it's something that a lot of people don't give him credit for. You know, yeah, there was some stumbling with Foxy, but in the past, he's been really good about integrating new players into this roster really quickly, so.
Certainly, last year it was working pretty darn well.
At
They
first,
might
yeah.
have stumbled a little bit, but you can see that they are still steady enough to pull off performances such as this. And mind you, this is Team Secret's map pick. I think they were perhaps trying to pull a surprise one up against DRX. DRX did leave this open though,
No more
so
charges left.
definitely showing that they are here to play this year.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't make it into Masters Madrid.
Right. I mean, certainly that's got to weigh on them. You know, that they don't miss many international events. They want to get right back into it, right back into the swing of things. Don't care who's on the team, don't care how. You gotta be feeling that you're good enough to get there.
Like stoic, studious kind of vibe that I get from, you know, the coach and the entire team sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. Termi is both of those things. You hit the nail on the head.
There.
Secret on the other hand though, sometimes a little bit whimsical. Always good with the preparation. Now that they are on the attack, will they be able to dictate the pace of the game? Starting things off with a bit of paint shells, a bit of utility invested, pulled the rotations over from DRX, now cutting noise, trying to, ooh.
And that Mako utility might have actually been too good because they totally went over to B, and I think Team Secret's gonna re-explore the map here and either re-aggress through market or shift all the way over to A. And it's definitely seemingly the better move potentially, because all of DRX except for Foxy is stuck in Boba.
Okay. You also got that toxic screen.
30
That is
seconds
a little
left.
bit pesky, but right now it's not up. Team Secret gets to walk in. Footsteps being heard now. Foxy calls the rotations over.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
That wire.
great trip. Doesn't quite connect it or convert into the, okay, initial kill gets Jeremy. A bit of a team kill by Buzz. But as they continue to push forward, Borkham can't quite make his way through. I mean, Foxy 9's damage has been done. Dark cover in front of NDG as well, and wow, he's not even on the defuse, just knows that NDG would push past it.
It's both pistols on this map going the way of DRX, and definitely felt like maybe a must-win for Team Secret in this situation. Given how one-sided the first half was, you know, that follow-up pistol after you get kind of bullied like that when it's like a 9-3 or a 10-2 or even an 8-4 to some degree, that pistol round has so much more pressure on it. Love those wires from Foxy, man.
Yeah.
Low to the ground, not
Very
anticipating
tricky.
that, yeah.
You would not know unless like you have dealt with it before. Maybe then you'll send a boom bot towards that just to clear it.
Yes.
But whatever it is, now DRX definitely in the lead.
This is a nice spot.
And expecting
This goes here.
maybe some kind of B entry, quick B entry here as Foxy setting up those wires right where maybe players are going to be sprinting into the site, but a little bit slow to start here from Team Secret. Doesn't look like they're fully committed to coming in just through B main. They're way into mid.
Just looking to punish a little with these sheriffs. They can secure a weapon or two. DRX definitely knows to anticipate this, so playing extremely safe. Buzz with the outlaw. Punches right through two players. Bulldog now swung over the
One
head.
enemy remaining.
Oh my.
Spike down B.
And again, the crossfires are so good. Buzz reliable with the outlaw as well. And DRX, they're up 11-3. It's feeling like maybe we're just GG go next and over to Lotus.
Certainly
This
feels
is Team
a little bit
Secret's
like
pick.
Yeah.
Not the way they would have wanted things to start, I don't think. So it's a little bit unfortunate for Team Secret, given that this is their map pick and it's not really quite going the way that they want to. But who knows, perhaps this is the round where things turn around. They've got that full buy, you've got Jeremy going in for a bit more rehearsed plan as they stream in towards elbow.
They need more utility to clear this angle right off of this.
Mako. Great positioning, great shots too. Able to catch on the first, a good dink, but nonetheless better coming out from
Enemy
in-game.
remaining.
There you
Team Secret deal against DRX with Brimstone and Fury.
Spike planted.
Not the agent Brimstone.
Oh yeah.
I liked your saying though, I really did. I mean, I like Brimstone as an agent, but maybe not so much on this map.
You cosplay as a good Brimstone.
I could. I wish I had Steve Bloom's voice to
man.
pull off the Brimstone lines, but
No, just say
not.
Just say Bub a bunch.
Bub. He has done some Wolverine. Oh my God! Okay.
Close.
Okay.
We knew that was not quite going to happen, but I did not expect a double kill like that. Even a dink onto the third one.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts from Foxy. He is
I need this.
feeling it on this
My
map.
tank.
18-10 right now. Bane 13-5, playing so safe, so cautious, really steady in the back line. The game plan here, I think, really smart as well for a new player coming into a roster. Don't put a lot of pressure on them to TP all over the place and break open sites and stuff. A lot of time he's just in the back line, just covering his teammates, playing for trades,
They do
playing
their
cautiously. Yes, exactly.
And that sometimes is enough. You don't necessarily need to outshine your teammates or anything. Definitely talented players nonetheless. Sometimes it's a bit of a culture fit as well, and let's see how DRX really utilizes some of these players, at least for this series.
DRX has to play way back because of this Rolling Thunder. You can see they're already kind of trying to find a way to get ahead of it. No. Oh, be a 1-for-1.
Stacks. able to play around it. Foxy9, look at this. Cyber Cage just blocks off so much. Great Rolling Thunder from Invito allows for the rest of Team Secret to break past this initial defense. Now you've got Stax and Buzz. The duo. So this time, try and make use of some of these positions. NDG, though, able to catch out against Stax, and now looking like much more of a bit of a, tricky situation for DRX. I thought they might have saved, but it's just going to be Jesse Vash taking them to school.
And a really good kind of test of patience for both teams on that. Knowing that Rolling Thunder is in play, you can see that DRX was feeling it out to seeing if they were going to maybe just send it at the site initially to try to go for the execute. But it's patience from Team Secret, and then once they started getting contact, DRX tried to press back, right? They tried to say, okay, we're going to get ahead of this Rolling Thunder if we're going to do anything about this. They can't. Team Secret holds tight, and then they send the Rolling Thunder, and Jesse gets just enough ahead of it that he's able to find that corner that Foxy was hiding in. Really nice stuff from Team Secret.
That's kind of what we expect from them, especially if they have the reads, they know the timings. It's always fun to watch how they just let their plans rip.
Stax is,
of course,
way out here.
Pushing all the way out.
Yeah, he does have this tripwire to deal with. There's not a lot he can do to clear it other than shoot it, but he's trying to find an angle, trying to see if somebody won't be ready for his position.
Doesn't quite see all too much.
He's got all this info, right?
Yes, he knows it's going to be an A hit for the team. Great pick off by Jesse. Foxy has to break that trip, and there he goes. The rest of the team now just trying to play around some of these unorthodox or closer range duels. Team Secret respects it.
They don't want to mess with Mako's corner. He did some damage the last time from his position. So now they're waiting out the smokes. Toxic Screen is going to come back up. Bane's able to take down one.
Wow.
Oh, Buzz.
No way.
Oh, okay.
Good little right click. That all comes down to Stax.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
I just noticed that his keyboard shortcuts, it says VCT.
Oh my gosh, it does. That's adorable.
That's nice.
Nice pickup there. That's something I never look at.
I don't normally look at it, but just because it's a virtually impossible 1-on-3. But hey, 6-11. Team Secret slowly picking up steam now.
They're looking good on this attack side. What a drive-by by Jesse there. Yeah, Bane gets one, but this time the corner is accounted for. That paint shells, the swing to follow. Nice job. Nice job here by Team Secret. And who knows, maybe it's just an attacker-sided affair here for both squads. A lot of ults. Showstoppers and a Hunter's Fury. For Team Secret, a couple ults on the other side as well. Showstopper and a Girl Theft.
If anything, I'd say looking a little bit more likely for Team Secret as they anticipate this push coming out. Jesse Vash with 2 Hunter's Fury kills. Mako trying to spot some heads, but not quite any connections. It all comes down to Foxy. The stab off this initial onslaught. Oh, good sprays, but no, not quite able to do it all by himself.
Poison's off.
So 1-on-3 now, Mako.
Spike planted.
Initial flick, spots the head. Gets tagged by the yellow drone too, though. If he gets peeked by some of these players together, that's going to be tough. In fact, they're just going to play it safe. Oh, he tries to sneak through, but spotted by the recon. Plays around the pillar. Double dips back in, and that's how he gets punished by Jesse Vash.
Fantastic discipline from Team Secret on that post-plant. Jesse almost gave up a kill to Mako there. And wisely just got crouched, stayed crouched, waited for his moment so he could get out, regroup with the rest of the team, and don't give Mako any of those easy 1v1s. There's only one given up, and then
nice one, boys.
Double held.
Peace bump, peace bump.
Just fist bump, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse.
Really chill.
Really chill. He's always chill. Jesse's just the definition of chill.
I'm surprised that DRX aren't, I don't know, calling a timeout or not feeling so chill.
Yeah, I mean, I think, oh, wow, Mako, that stinger.
Okay.
Takes Jeremy right out.
Don't need it. Just getting a read against Team Secret now.
Look at this push and pull with the utility there.
What?
A drive-by, a paranoia right after it, and then a follow-up. That's great synergy.
Sensing the timings too, but now that his teammates fallen, Mako knows to back up, holds the off angle instead. He's got teammates watching the other entrance if needed.
They can't go this way. I mean, with where Jesse is, I think you need to go to the other side of the map right now.
Foxy 9 then would have to be the difference maker here. If he falls, B falls along with him.
He might just walk into this.
The crowd is cheering it.
Oh my god.
All right.
That is, as they say, squeaky bum time.
Jesse still staying tucked away. If then Foxy fishes out.
And every ult in the world here. Oh! Now the neural theft can come. Huge!
There it is. Picks up the Vandal. Spots them through his cyber cage. Sneaks under their noses. They have no idea.
Oh, they heard the footsteps.
Now. Buys time for his team to arrive on the scene. Stacks with the Nightfall. Bane up from behind. It'd be down at 1 HP. It's the headshot from Foxy 9 and a thrifty win for DRX. It starts off with Mako's stinger kill around around A.
Yeah, great adjustments here on the fly by DRX. Not having a timeout called by Termi. And I know Termi gets a lot of flack for the lack of timeout calling, but I think people need to understand that there's a lot of good reasons behind why he was doing that for so long. And he's now able to have a lot of trust in Stacks because he was forcing Stacks last year to have to adapt on the fly. Now you can have a little bit more trust. You can have a little bit more comfort, a little bit more cushion before you decide to start calling your own timeout. You can maybe wait an extra round or two to see if your team can do it themselves, to give them that confidence, to have that trust in an IGL, to be able to kind of figure things out as he goes. So yes, it at time was frustrating if you were a DRX fan last year, but believe me, I personally feel like there was really good reason behind it, and I'll stand on that. I'll die on that hill.
Heck yeah, we'll trust in IGL Stacks, and it really shows. I mean, if he's able to adjust mid-game like that on his own, now the calls go their way. Oh, Flick just shy of an inch. Jeremy able to sneak the entry through. A blind showstopper even connects onto Mako. And it's going to be Team Secret looking to capture the sites. Jeremy overextending his welcome just for a second. Stacks able to shut him down.
Didn't even hit a bullet.
Deploying drone.
Unfortunate. But at the very least, the team is here. Vash still on the op. Nobody's able to go for any sneaky peeks.
Scanning ahead.
Great spot for his recons to connect.
Stacks ducked it though. They might not realize Stacks is coming out of market. Oh, Jesse aware.
Shots. Bane and Stacks though. What? And all of a sudden,
oh my god!
It'd be great Rolling Thunder just to secure that one more round.
Had to.
Isapa, let's go, Team Secret.
Had to, or it was map over potentially. Nice try there from DRX on that retake. Stacks being so sneaky, but Buzz just overstaying his welcome in B main. Pays the price for it. Jeremy with a great follow-up from his showstopper, but a little bit off the mark after that, but you can forgive him for that. The first two were quite good.
Yeah. Just trying to keep things alive. One more round. One more always extends to one more. But DRX looking to close this one out. Jeremy going for the quick entries. Now we've got a bit of a split push coming into where it's A. They've managed to capture elbow. Mako trying to stay hidden. NDG deals with him just quick. And that's going to be the spike down pretty soon. What is Foxy 9's game plan here?
Yeah, that time Team Secret turns up the tempo and it catches Mako off guard enough. He thought maybe he had enough time to use that utility. Jeremy takes Bane off the top of that box. Really nice diligence.
Very close.
Oh, what?
Two snaps. Push forward. Prowler gives him all he needs. He even gets a wallbang onto Borkum past that box. Pops the showstopper. This could be it. NDG dodges. Goes back in for the third kill. Stacks now playing off of the defuse. Secures the round for DRX.
I mean, you gotta like what you're seeing here from DRX. You know, being dealt kind of a tough hand coming into this match. They handle it very, very nicely. Foxy popping off, Bane slotting in so well with his first match with the Tier 1 DRX team. He's, again, played for their prospect team before, but Absolutely tremendous stuff, and a slow start for Team Secret cost them dearly once again. And let's see if they can turn it around here. Seems like this has been a problem that Warbirds identified coming into this match, and yet his players haven't quite figured it out.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've got some great performances that our analyst desk will break down.
Well, it looks like we have seen a little peek into Sunset for these two teams for the first time. And DRX, you know, the predictions doubt them. And yes, they didn't make their first international event, but they are not to be trifled with or underestimated.
Yeah, gotta say, I think just across the board, a lot cleaner than I was anticipating from DRX, both on Sunset and with Bane in this roster. They just slot him in, say, okay, you're just gonna be playing Omen, and he just does his job. He gets smokes out, he gets paranoias for retakes and just, you know, staving off attacks and everything, so plays that one perfectly smoothly, you know, checking off boxes. And then everybody else is just playing absolutely gorgeously. Foxy9, what a beginning to the map for him especially.
Yeah. And because of that, this Team Secret just could not find that rhythm that they were kind of hoping for. I was talking about how it was so important that Vash and Envy become the enablers here, but even then, when you can see them setting up, it still wasn't enough for, you know, players like Jeremy and DG to kind of feed off of. When Vash and Envy are already out of the equation, they just can't seemingly connect themselves into that round win.
Yeah, I mean, again, one of the things, this is kind of what we are used to talking about with, you know, last year's and previous iterations of DRX is even when they're not getting those first kills, they're starting the rounds down a player. The 4v5 conversion rate continuing to look good for them. Secret, you know, coming out with 12 first kills over top of DRX, but then only getting 8-round wins. That just speaks to this clutch potential and just how well DRX can pivot when they do lose somebody early on. But as I mentioned, like Foxy, an incredible performance from him, 23 and 15. This is one of those kind of performances that you want to see from a player that has been in question for this squad, has had his rough showings, has been moved over into this Sentinel position, and this is a hell of a way to kick things off in stage 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, moving him onto a Cypher that looks pretty damn good. I mean, aim aside, he made some really smart decisions.
Yeah, and I just loved how very energetic he is when we always go for that player comes and like, whoa, let's get this.
I think everyone's now realizing that you have to have a vibe merchant on the team. You have to have somebody that's keeping the spirits high. That has been proven across the board. You know, Zelsis is the one who's very much instilling that. Rossi as well for Team 1. And it looks like Foxy9 says, you know what? I will pick up the mantle for DRX.
Who's that guy for Team Secret?
Probably all of them.
You know what? I'd say it's NDG if you've seen some of the games where he's like, woo.
What?
He had a game where he actually just did that.
Did you do that one more time? What was it?
Woo.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't as you know, much of a commitment for the second one, but you know, I appreciate the effort. But yeah, I mean, we see how important that can be, especially if you're starting to get kind of, you know, beat down, being able to just get the vibes back up so you can try to rally back. But there was some just really nasty moments. I'd say a decent run back attempt for the side of Secret there on the back end. It was looking like maybe they'd be able to make this a little bit closer, maybe get themselves up into those upper double digits and threaten for an overtime. But the start, I mean, 9 and 3, 9 out of 9 on post plants for the side of DRX. This was just such a damn near flawless attack half for them.
Yeah, I just wanted to add as well, like if you're looking at the highlights here, it seems like there's so many rounds where certain players of Secret would kind of just double peek to chase down the slight map controller position that they lost. You know, when Jeremy got pushed back because of the Prowler, he'd start to just re-peek it again with the Operator. That one with Borka with the pistol, he gets knocked out. And this happened so many times on Secret that I think it just was second nature right now to DRX. Like, they're gonna keep doing this. It's a thing that they've been doing over and over again. Let's just keep punishing it. And they've been doing that. That's why we see that 9-3 happen on that first half.
Now this was a Team Secret map pick, and yes, in the past, across the board for VCT, we often see teams lose their map pick, but we didn't actually see much of that happening during kickoff. So this, I would say, is a pretty big blow, considering this was Secret's pick. Now, the second map is DRX's pick, Lotus.
Yeah, and like I said, Lotus has had its ups and downs for DRX. You know, from the time that they first debuted it, it is, you know, night and day. It was absolutely abysmal when they first brought it out last season, but it has been a hell of a lot better for them. You know, even just going into Champions, I think it was still in question, and that's where they were able to pull off that 210 run back against Billy to be able to get the win. So this map overall has been pretty steady for DRX, but in kickoff we did see some wishy-washiness from them. You know, changes in composition, changes on who is going to be playing what role, and they come away with the 50% win. But the same could be said for Secret, who did stray away from what we were used to seeing from the team. They decided not to go for the Sova, which was one of the things that I think was giving a lot of other squads difficulty against them when they were playing Lotus, because a lot of teams weren't used to playing against that. Those Sova timings when the recon darts were going to be coming at you, having that extra post plant or delay plant utility, and the shock darts as well as that Hunter's Fury. So I'm curious if Secret are going to pivot back to that, or if they stay with the Sky.
Yeah, there's so many options still available here for Secret. But aside from that, it just feels like this is a map that they have to prove themselves on once more, with, you know, what Warbirds was mentioning about how, we just got into our heads. This is a match that we should be winning, but then not. That kind of showed itself with the Genji and then the DFM match. So moving forward into this one, there's still so many things that is still up in the air here for Team Secret.
Yeah, and it looks like they're really going to need to clean up their defense side as well.
Yeah.
Going to now, it's game time again for Pacific, where we rank up or lose a rank. And this time for the guessing game question is the map score difference. The round difference, will it be more than 4 or less than 5?
So basically, whatever the final score is going to be at the end of this map.
Yes.
So
the round difference, is it going to be pretty big or not, or will it be pretty close?
I'm going to go...
Where's mine?
I got mine. We'll wait. We can do a grand reveal together.
You want to do a grand reveal?
Yeah.
Okay, and I definitely want you guys to make your case. Wait, let me think. Yeah, I'll stick to this.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Less than 5.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even look what you guys picked up.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I think that Secret, I think that they're a team that we know that they can kind of brush off map losses. So even if they do drop Sunset and it's their pick, I think that overall, Lotus is still a very strong map for them. I think especially if they pivot back over to Jesse Bash and the Sova, I think that that could be something that maybe DRX doesn't really expect anymore, given that they showed, you know, him playing twice with the Sky in the mix and whatnot. So I expect that they're going to come in. I think they're going to be able to play a pretty close map here on Lotus. So I think that it's going to be less than 5 between them.
Okay, I think, like, for me, Envy's still on a ticking time bomb. He was doing fairly well on that first map, and I'm looking that on a map that they're a lot more versed in, is going to be able to help carry over this team over that hurdle.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot closer this time around. Secret is definitely... I feel like they're a slow to start kind of team, except for that one match in kickoff where they just have this crazy, like, revenge thing against ZETA.
Run it down.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy game for Secret. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot closer this time. If we looked at, you know, historically the 1 or 2 times that they played, they're both kind of evenly matched. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty even.
I think this is also just another map where it's like, it takes a lot more team coordination going into Lotus, given that you do have just the triple sites and everything like that. And I think that with, you know, Bane coming into the mix, that's where things could be a little bit shakier for DRX. So while I do think that they still have the upper hand coming into this map, I think that that's going to lend itself to being a little bit closer.
Yeah. I also did ask Jen. She was lamenting our stage host that she never gets to do a pick, and I think she agreed with us, actually. And let's find out what the agent picks are. It looks like they like to play double controller on this map, understandably. So let's see what it is.
Curious to see
roll.
where we're going to go. And it looks like, okay, Secret just going to be sticking with the same stuff. Obviously, there's some change-ups in quotations for DRX because it's going to be Mako going over to the Viper. And then we get Bane here on the Omen. But Stax just gets to play back-to-back games of Fade. So Classic and Comfort widely here, I'd say, for DRX. And Secret just still believing in this composition, not wanting to go back to something that I guess has, you know, a million hours of tape on it. But I'm curious to see how improved this can look for them.
So something that I've seen, you know, DRX be very good in Lotus in is just those link control plus that swinging doorway outside of Mound, that's such a strong point for them. So Secret definitely has to contest that.
All right, we are ready to go into map 2 Lotus. Quack and Paper Thin, what are your votes for the round differential?
Thank you very much, Victoria, Kilios, and Aserai. I'm going to go with less than 5. I do think that this is going to be a close game.
I think it should be pretty close. If this attacker side for Team Secret is as potent as it was previously, then certainly you got to give a slight edge to them. They did some real damage on this side of the map. So, you know, for DRX, it's all about weathering this early storm. Mako over on the Viper. You know, if you guys remember, he's pretty darn good at Viper.
It's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. You know, I think back to some of the way he would play Pearl on Viper, really kind of
really ratty,
yeah, and really ratty, and also saves his Viper's pits for retakes and things like that. So, kind of curious. That hasn't been the MO for them on this map so far this year, where they'll use those Viper pits early to take space and things like that. But, you know, Mako's style, a little bit different than some, but maybe more of a team idea. Just a tap of the spike.
Truly is
going to be
incredible
popping
player.
Through. Who is?
Mako.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'm just going to change my answer, because we're not on that rank board thing. We don't have our ranks yet. We haven't gone for our placement. So I'm just going to change my answer just to mess around with Victoria and say that I think this is going to be a quick game. DRX is going to take this really quickly. Bane is going to start things off with an initial kill onto Jeremy. A hop over and he just clicks away. Stacks now with a bit of a double 2. And all of a sudden it's going to be Envy, who's not quite able to do all too much. Too many targets in front of him. And Team Secret's C approach just kind of got fumbled.
Yeah, and this is all 3 pistols so far going the way of DRX, and certainly a concerning start once again for Team Secret. Really just locking things down. Foxy continues to be very sharp, getting that 1 kill when that player barely showed their head. Just enough time for him to pop it. And got 3 Bulldogs, Spectre, and the Ghost for Stacks. Full classics for the side of Team Secret. No investment whatsoever. Trying to use this toxic screen. Sneak up past Rubble. Door already open for Bane. Trying to see if he can spray someone down, but just enough time there for Team Secret to squeak on through. They're just going to try to death ball it. Buzz going to have to put down some good shooting. He's got Stacks there. A little bit across. Oh man.
Well, the death ball gets received, gets taken really quickly. NDG even getting hit by the paranoia now. He knows that he's completely surrounded. Tries to swing around, but Bane makes quick work of him. 2-0.
Yeah, Bane, what a phenomenal way to start his VCT Pacific career on Sunset.
Like, pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah, really good. I mean, he was the highest rated player. He had so many assists, 16 and 10 in the scoreline. So nobody missing a beat here for DRX so far. And they've got a great follow-up here for their bonus, especially again on this defender side. Such an attacker-sided map at times. The more damage they do, this is going. Look at that! Look at that snake bite. Just really making sure that if anybody pushes that corner, it's a little bit easier for Buzz if he goes deep. Bane as well, moving up on top.
This is
covering that A door. Yeah.
A being blocked off. That's right. Team Secret has to go through either B or C. And B is a site that's pretty tough to defend against. I mean, once you get the spike down, that is. So, wow, good C's coming in from Stacks as well. Incredibly well timed. DRX are controlling the pace of this. Again, though, even with Team Secret's guns, now that Buzz has pulled away from A, Rubble. Ouch.
Cover going
It's all down to Bane.
Took a tick of damage there. Most of that was from the decay. Oh, Buzz. Oh my god.
Set up.
Spike down A.
Both of them are down. So it's not impossible for Team Secret to recover from that.
And you don't have any of that KJ utility online.
30 seconds left.
You lost NDG in that exchange to check for Mako's late lurk. You can just set this up. You got plenty of time here. Yeah. Envy trying to get ahead of it, but actually, in fact, nobody's there. It's even pinged out by DRX. So aware that somebody could be pushing this.
Okay, Foxy spots up barrels, tries to go in for the spray with the Spectre, knows that he doesn't quite have the optimal range for that duel, runs up around the other side. Team instantly here to receive and help him out. Jesse Vash, although he did get the first 2 kills, Foxy9 will put him in a coffin.
It's just spectacular awareness from DRX to know that somebody was likely to push through the top A area, and they're just ready for it. And Foxy plays it so well, realizes he's got 2 players there. He doesn't get the initial spray to go, has to back out, throws the turret behind him just to make sure nobody can chase.
I mean,
his crossfires are so good, dude.
That was the one that really set it up for me. I mean, you start things off with Buzz and Bane in that beautiful combo. Very oppressing stuff just to take control of a rubble. If Team Secret ever wants to reapproach the A side, they have to walk through that. And unless they're able to take out Bane somehow, who is tucked away really safe, this is really tough. Same thing now going in this round. It's a bit of an anti-eco. Death Ball works out for the time being. They take down Buzz. Paranoia does connect onto Bane as well. Borkum doing great work with this. However, Mako well-timed on the Toxic Screen, just able to push them off, and he even gets a collat. Exactly. Bane trying to fire off away as well. Team Secret having to hang back for a second. They did manage to retrieve a weapon though, I think. Phantom in the hands of Envy.
But again,
look at
no
this.
KJ. All that util's dead. This is so brutal.
Okay. Bane just has to stay tucked away. Foxy9 in case they try to rotate back. Team Secret gonna tap the spike any second now.
This is just giving Foxy more time to move into position. Stacks now making his way off of B.
Oh,
Very tough for Team Secret.
They're gonna try to sneak.
Cover going out.
Got tree blocked off. Everyone's here and ready to party. Envy trying to play close contact. Able to take down Mako. That's quick. Gets the angle onto Foxy9 as well. Envy taking things into his own hands. Just does the round for his entire team. Incredible decision making.
That's incredible shooting from Envy. I mean, this guy, we know how good he can be, and he's taking matters into his own hands for Team Secret. That's a crazy good round.
I mean, you expect them, you get the spike down, you'll probably stay on site to defend it. Envy actually pushes out front, actually catches Foxy9, and then anticipates the player peeking out from stairs as well. The sensing from that deserved to pop off. I'm surprised he didn't say the other word that Asura was laughing at last time. We go back into it. Next round, it's going to be DRX on a bit of a half-buy.
And he's got a pit here on the back of that 4K, so this could be a really, really difficult round for DRX and put Team Secret right back into it. And that's so needed. Again, oh my god, Jeremy.
Quick moves. Double kill already for Team Secret. Make that a third as everyone starts to chime in. Buzz, despite having the Vandal, is going to have his work cut out for him. Not quite able to retake by himself. 3-2. Team Secret definitely not out of this game.
Yeah, a huge breath of fresh air for Team Secret. Able to hang on to that Viper's Pit. Now you've also got Seekers. Buzz does have a showstopper, one away from a Nightfall for Stacks, so
out of charges.
There could be some counter ultimates in the cycles. Just, Envy's just so fired up right now. Sprayed on there. Oh my goodness. Let's go.
So we got DRX buying back up. Are they gonna go for that same rubble hold? No, not too aggressive this time. Definitely a good one-way smoke nonetheless.
It's that same kind of execute. That snake bite in the same place. Let's see if Team Secret this time is going to be able to deal with that crossfire if they decide to push that way.
Caution
Already
here.
going to take down the baby door. Head on in. Thinking that without any contact out of A already, got to worry about Jeremy. Not going to see the feet as Jeremy pushes a bit further forward.
Doesn't see anything yet. Alright, the Boombot does give a bit of information. But Team Secret knows, like, it's just Too risky.
That got the paranoia out. That's huge.
Until he gone, they might just be able to, if they can take this site, DRX doesn't quite have enough utility for the retake. Actually doubling back into B now. Stex was not prepared. Showstopper will connect for Buzz though. Not able to plant the spike, but Jeremy turns back around. Bad. Buzz answers back.
One enemy remaining.
Mako getting one for himself as well, and that's all down to Jeremy now at 2 HP. 30 seconds on the clock. Opponents could be anywhere.
Just when you think Team Secret has got some momentum, Buzz just shuts it right down in that round. Not much time to work with here. Has to grab the spike and plant it immediately.
I have the spike.
Look at the player cam. Jeremy's eyes constantly shifting towards the map. No time at this point. Tries to bait out Buzz, but yeah, he's not feeling it.
He just had to stick it. I mean, risk it, but he decides to go to see if they're going to try to push him instead during the plant. Bit of a gamble there. Doesn't quite pay off.
Not quite in this.
Oh, Buzz. Oh, my goodness.
Buzz is dialed in.
He's on one today. As usual.
As usual. And that's, again, the thing about DRX. We're seeing great and solid stuff from Bane. You know, he's doing his job. Nothing too flashy. Foxy9 on the Sentinel now, not quite allowed to go for his usual antics. It kind of allows for the team to work. Team Secret, on the other hand, you know, they've managed to break through, but usually that's off of the back of Envy so far. You've got all of these ultimates now, though, and they should be able to make something happen. Envy with the Viper's Pit available.
If they invest a bunch of ults into this and it doesn't work, there is a lockdown as well if things go real bad. Yeah, Nightfall could be invested by DRX. I think they should. They might as well. Foxy's one away from a lockdown of his own.
You should
run. There's the initial lockdown coming in from Team Secret. Pushes them away. Brings the timer down to about, I don't know, 25, 20 seconds.
It's pinged. But they might turn off. Foxy's kind of aware of it.
Yep. Caught. Nightfall out at the right time, too. Buzz going in along with it. Initially found Envy. But Envy's still a menace. Staying inside of the Viper's Pit, he goes in all around the corners. Now outside of the Viper's Pit, he slipped around. Jeremy working along with him. They bought enough time. They pushed DRX away. They've taken down Stacks. Team Secret, again, the younger players shine.
They're probably a little closer than you'd like, but you invest the ultimates, you get the win, you still got the showstopper. That's fine. Envy is unreal.
Honestly, yeah.
With how quick he is to react to stuff, look at him. He is trying to keep Team Secret in these rounds. He is single-handedly doing it, it feels like.
The awareness that this guy has. Arguably, I might actually just say he's the best player out of Philippines.
I think so. I'd agree with you.
All right.
Oh boy.
Good flash. Well, no, that was a team flash. Allows for a bit of an initial kill, but because it's just pistols, Team Secret's still able to walk away with a kill. I think Jeremy meant to turn away from that one.
Spike
but
planted.
That's it. Spike goes down. It's only Foxy9 with the Stinger. Maybe Stacks with the Sheriff.
Not the end of the world. Losing one player as long as the rest of this is clean. Mako?
Wait. No way.
Player standing.
Just a stinger for Foxy.
Yeah, good response coming out from Jesse Bash, too. Although Foxy did pick up the weapon, now playing around with the positioning, just tapping that door. It makes him think. Foxy9 is starting to feel very uncomfortable in this position, and he walks into the double stack. Team Secret tie things up 4-4.
Yeah, maybe a little bit spicier than you'd like for Team Secret, but still, job done. Still plenty of money in the economy. A couple players, some decent bankrolls behind them. See Bash taking up for a little bit of a team flash, finding some big impact kills at the end of the round, and that double stack. There's a little laugh out of Jesse.
That's adorable.
Probably about that team flash potentially, but hey, that's okay. That's all right. It happens to the best.
Yes, it does, it does. Still got the round. And now aggressively taking back in towards Rubble control.
There.
Do have Mako's pit to work against though, but what is this from Buzz? Oh, he goes in for a showstopper, connects onto a third. Just a little bit overheated for a second. Borkham able to shut him down, but Mako coming back in, asking Team Secret to take a seat, please.
Dude, Buzz, man, he's put up some huge multi-kills for DRX, and this is
how.
Again, I mean, DRX is really happy to try to take this space by Rubble.
Yes.
Towards A main. The utility there from Stacks.
It's like,
or excuse me, from Bane backing him up. That is nasty from Mako.
Playing with the timing off of it, especially, you know, working along with Bane, because they know that Team Secret's going to take control over it. Team Secret's going to set up for something. Just as they're about to set up, Buzz goes in.
That Haunt checking for the deeper push, but it's all stuck on the side. They move their way sneakily forward. Buzz this time going to be playing back with Bane. Going to show him a bit of a different look as this A push continues. Just Bane on site. Buzz going to try to hold the door. See what they've got. This is everybody thinking about making their way over, but DRX kind of pulls off all of a sudden. The contact, maybe not as quick as they were expecting, makes them check B, but without baby door cleared, you gotta know that they backed way off and they wrapped all the way around to B. That's what you have to be careful of here as DRX, but let's see if they can make another crunch work. Oh, that spot.
Oh, there's that wraparound now. Buzz starting to make a move. He knows that they could be rotating over onto B. Foxy9 knows it's too risky to peek out, so he just doubles back, lets the lockdown go, and Team Secret gets the site. Look at Mako, though.
Dodging all that utility.
Oh, saw the barrel. That's going to be DRX securing yet another kill. Jeremy's going to be the one that blocks off baby door. DRX continues to try and push through, but not quite able to swing past Jeremy. Oh, NDG now chiming in. Foxy9 out from behind. Jeremy swaps over the Classic just to keep himself alive, but DRX takes them apart.
It's just, again, showing a different look. It's just been A aggression, right towards Rubble, just fighting for that space every single round, it felt like, for DRX. And this time they pull back. This time they pull off. And it gives enough of a pause here for Team Secret that DRX can kind of put themselves into good positions, never really ceding control over B. And that's eventually where they try to make their way into. And Foxy9 not having any of it. Mako clean as heck. Mako with a Viper's Pit and a Judge. Oh, this is scary, scary, scary. I think I'm really curious again if Mako's just gonna hold on to that Viper's Pit. And it looks like he is. This time Team Secret's aware. They know what DRX is trying to do. They find that little angle.
Mid-flight too.
Yep, that's sick.
Okay. Still, they have to know that they are on a bit of a half buy, so just trying to play it safe. DRX knows that they shouldn't be pushing out too far too.
Yeah, that pit now.
So you don't have A, you don't have C.
Yeah.
You go into B, that's all the Killjoy utility.
Yeah, it's going to be tough one way or another for Team Secret. Certainly they can get it done, but not making it easier for them, especially with the low buy on Team Secret's side. A Judge and a Stinger and a couple Sheriffs. That's all you got to work with.
Pinged out, the choke points are up around B as well. So that's Link blocked off, Heaven blocked off too. Stacks just disrespecting the smokes, walks out front, picks up the triple. Foxy9 getting a couple himself. DRX picks up the 7th win. They've got 3 rounds in a row now.
It's just brilliant stuff. And again, I've said in the past that Mako is a kind of guy who likes to hold on to those Viper's Pits sometimes for retakes and stuff like that. But in this case, this is what we've been seeing from DRX so far this year, where it's the Viper's Pit to control space, to give information, and they work a treat off of it.
What did he say?
I didn't hear him.
All right.
I don't know if he said Kaja, which is like, let's go. That's what I think he said. But I wasn't listening very close.
Either way, DRX starting to celebrate a little bit. It is still 7-4 though. Team Secret able to come back if they play their cards right. Have the full buy in this round. Jesse Vash still on the Seekers. Stacks on the Nightfall.
Bane?
Oh.
So aggressive.
He has been hopping up just to check.
This just makes it so much easier for these rotates to come through for DRX, where they could swap sides of the map because they have so much pressure on one side or another. They know what's happening.
Pressure being felt up around A. Some shots being fired up around C as well. Senses gives the warning signal to Team Secret that they should fall back. Now they know that Bane is in a bit of a tough spot.
Oh,
playing it patiently. Envy knows the swing is about to come. Takes down both Buzz and Bane.
So good. The way that Team Secret takes their time on this A hit this time, they get themselves in a position where they're ready for where Buzz and Bane have been playing. One behind Rubble, one next to the door.
30 seconds
They're
left.
Envy's just so fast with that transfer too. Absolutely insane.
Spike planted.
Figured it out.
Remaining.
Now DRX, whatever they try in this retake, dropping off of heaven, walks right to welcome and open arms of Jeremy. Okay, Foxy9.
Man.
Starts off with a bit of a double. Team Secret knows where he's about to approach from. What are you gonna do? Drop your turret? They're like just waiting for him to drop.
Oh, he's gonna use that. I was like, he's gonna use that toxic screen against him, but Borkum not fooled in the slightest by it. And we switch sides. A pretty exciting half. A good comeback here from Team Secret with what looked like it might be DRX kind of running away with it, but is it good enough? You know what I mean? That's their attacker side. Yeah, I don't know. It could be. It's kind of like, sometimes I think people forget that sometimes Pacific is like upside down land with like what side on the map is actually better.
Yeah.
Like we've had this like last year.
Different styles.
Yeah. Like Ascent was just attacker sided earlier today. Like, I mean, you never know what you're gonna get.
It's like a box of chocolates. But that's what's fun. I mean, I think that if we can expect the same level of success for players like Buzz and Bane, then it would work out on the attacking side because they have worked together pretty darn well. And then, of course, you got Stacks with the exceptional calling today. Foxy9, you know, he's just doing incredible stuff because he's fundamentally that strong, mechanically that strong. But we are also starting to see Team Secret adapt to some of these things, where especially up around A Rubble, you've got players adapting to the timing of things. That round previously, Envy shut down both Bane and Buzz because of such reads.
It feels like about 3 of those rounds for Team Secret that they won were Envy.
Yeah.
Envy won those rounds.
Yes.
So that's great for Team Secret. Envy is, I fully agree with you, the best player from the Philippines that we've seen so far, and he's showing you why. He can go toe-to-toe with anybody and make a meal of them.
There.
And he's so fun to watch. So looking at the guns, Jeremy looks like he's going to go for a Sheriff. Goes for Jesse. 3 classics otherwise. A little bit of utility. So Jesse not going to be getting the heal. It's going to be the dog and the bird. Not just the dog, really. The bird's free.
But the whole zoo.
Yeah, and as usual, DRX, the whole zoo. Well, we're not playing the zoo comp here yet.
No, not yet. Okay, DRX.
Mako, it's about half damage there. Has to concede the territory for now, but notice DRX certainly with all these ghosts wouldn't mind a little bit of a longer range skirmish.
Not gonna be that long though. Okay. Got Team Secret backing off. They've gotten the information that they wanted. 50 seconds left. Anticipating a bit of a fake as well. They fall back and watch B. Tap on towards the door for DRX, but they're not fully walking through tree.
Yeah, they're really being diligent about this. They're expecting some kind of trap to be sprung on them. If they go, this is going to be tougher, I think, if they go B. They're not going to realize it, but
30 seconds left.
There we go. 30 seconds left, though. Paint cells well timed by Jeremy. Sheriff shot fired off as well. Bane. Pinpoint headshot coming in. Doesn't quite swap over to the Sheriff, and his right clicks will work out. Now picks up the Sheriff. He's going John Wick. Jesse Vash. Not quite able to fight back as Bane kills 3 men with a pencil.
And that's another pistol round. Flawless pistols for DRX today in terms of their round score on it. Haven't dropped a single one. And now they're gonna, are they really gonna grab like a bunch of rifles? Are they just, they're just going all in here? Like, it looks like they were really gonna try to swing this game. Try to end it, try to throw that knockout blow onto Team Secret. Bane, so tricky, great movement, making it hard to find those right clicks. Stax is getting into it, he's fired up. Yeah, 3 rifles and then a Sheriff and a Ghost for DRX. Really interesting purchase. You don't see this too often from them. Usually it's like Bulldogs and some other stuff. Feeling confident, feeling like they can close the door on this map.
I really wonder why. You still want to respect Team Secret, never know. Especially what if they force. Of course, right now it's just Jeremy on the Sheriff, but for the time being, DRX feeling confident in their choices. Even in the previous round, getting a good sense for things. Jesse gets all of this delicious information right now, pulls out the Titan Mail Mace.
They have no idea. He slipped by the turret.
All right, first pick. Bane answers back with the Vandal.
Here.
When in doubt, Bane is on Rubble.
There we go. That's what the Duelist Omen players do, but Borkum now comes back in for a bit of a right click. Envy getting taken out too. Mako still pretty much in control of it with his snake bites. Forces them off of the defuse. Got Bane just here to support as well. Going for a bit of a tap. Secondary dark cover coming out.
One enemy remaining.
All we got to do is just continue to spray. Peek out at the right time. Good amount of weapons taken away from DRX though.
Yeah, this isn't the end of the world. They're able to keep 2 of the Vandals, but, you know, Jesse maybe could have got a little bit more value, but just did not expect Bane to be up there. Great lurk by him. Again, he's been so good at that this year in particular, like especially on this map, right? How many times have we seen him just completely bamboozle his opponents and get these great kills? Yeah, well, he's no doubt about that. He's smart.
That's it. I do think, like, economically speaking, because, you know, a couple of players from before on DRX were on those pistols, they're able to buy back up a little bit, making this round pretty competitive for Team Secret. DRX looking to secure yet another bonus.
And if you push Team Secret off this round, they're on an eco. So you can see the methodology that DRX is working with in these anti-eco buys. And how they've been able to bank up even still a ton of money. And who knows, Bane's got a From the Shadows. You could play around with that potentially a little bit, try to get into the back, get into their heads. A B hit maybe, and it's completely read by Team Secret so far. Let's see if this is going to be a commit or if they're going to maybe shift towards C and shift towards the door. The turret there. It's got to give you
now.
Yeah. But does DRX know?
Mako,
they figured it out.
Mako might just call for that C.
He does.
Yeah, door opened. Now it's going to be NDG quickly rushing over, trying to keep them at bay, but there's not much that he can do. If they plant out in the open for him, then he might be able to spray them down, but nah, these days, going for that plant up around the stairs. Perfect snake bite, direct impact. But that's, you know, just a little bit of chip damage.
I'd love to see Bane TP behind them when they try to make the retake. I think that would be just so funny to watch.
Okay. All right, a little bit of paranoia. Buzz on the other side, watching for those peaks. Stax and Buzz, the mainstays, taking what is theirs. It's DRX 10-5.
Don't even need a TP. Just a solid hold by the guys on the site. Bane just watching the off angle to see if there's any lurkers, and there are not. This is just so clean.
We've seen this sort of approach from DRX a couple of rounds now, especially on the second half, where they create a bit of presence on one side, cut noise, start to rotate over. Even if Team Secret gets a bit of a read, they make the quick move to, you know, head over onto C.
Yeah, and I mean, Stax is making some really good calls here today. That decision to move off of B after they got the turret contact, and of course it helps that Mako's kind of taking a little bit of space as well, but still, the coordination, the communication looking really, really solid for DRX.
Still, yes, fundamental DRX stuff, and I gotta say, you know, it's Stacks IGL, maybe a bit of credit to Coach Termy, but everyone's playing their part, and that's always textbook DRX Valorant style.
Exactly. This is, again, if there's anything Termy's good at, it's getting people into the right positions to try to do their jobs.
Do their job.
Yeah, I mean, again, like holding crossfires, you know, putting your utility in the right places.
Truly.
All that stuff is certainly superb at. And Bane's, you know, been around the team long enough, he has a pretty good idea as well.
Prospects.
Oh my god, Stacks.
Okay, okay. Vash able to keep them away for a second. Jeremy with the classic actually connecting onto Foxy. Borkum says, no, you're not going to go through Link. Envy now with the Sheriff, a double connection. Only a bit of a trade, and that's going to be the thrifty win for Team Secret. Something that we did not expect. I don't think DRX expected it either.
It's a massive, massive thrifty for Team Secret. They desperately needed that. They're able to kind of bait DRX into these close quarter battles. They're able to put Stinger, the classics, to good use. The Sheriffs as well. Not ready for Envy to be tucked into that corner at all. So a good repeat, a good comeback for Team Secret. Let's see if they can get something rolling. First 3 rounds of the half were not great. We'll try to set up a push, but yeah, they're able to get the Omen into the rubble position, and DRX is really turning up the pace.
Okay, Buzz has made his way through. Slipped right underneath them. Tries to deliver the uppercut, but NDG shuts him down instead. Perfectly read. And then as we come back into it, it's going to be Foxy9 going in for a couple more. They're relentlessly pushing forward into the C site. Jeremy answers back with a bit of a showstopper as well. Jesse Vash falling off of it. Picks up the head of Bane. Now it's all down to Foxy9 and 1-on-2, and with 2 players staring down his barrel, not quite able to push past it.
There we go, Jesse. That's looking good. That was some snappy shooting from the veteran. And now it seems like Team Secret's starting to get a read on things. DRX tried to change up the tempo. I don't mind this call at all from DRX, but it's just handled so well. You know, NDG on point, quick backup to help him out. Jesse there to clean up the job. So certainly timeout warranted, I think, for DRX to try to reassess things a little bit, try to get their heads back in the game, just a skosh. That's what I can say where I'm from, which means a little. It's a very Midwestern kind of dialect.
Skosh.
A skosh.
How'd you spell that?
I have no, you know what? I actually have no idea, dude.
S-K-O-S-H, perhaps. But relentless, I mean, regardless, excuse me, it is just DRX right now pretty much having a good plan for the second half. Team Secret able to fight back for a second and then wanting to definitely close things out. The timeout has been called.
And a good time for one, for sure. Try to see if you can maybe find a way to punish some of this, you know, early A aggression that Team Secret's been doing, just like they were doing. You know, maybe something like that. You're really close to a couple ultimates.
That's right. Yeah. If they can go towards those alt points, alt orbs.
You can get like 2 alts online if you can work the map a little bit here.
Okay, but there's all that utility. Just all thrown in towards rubble. DRX hears it, and then no, we're just gonna go straight to B.
Oh,
but
Jesse.
Good idea on the pathing, but unfortunately, as the lands, it's gonna be Jesse Vash takes him down instead. A little bit more prepared for this one. Even with the game plan, even with the ecos, DRX not quite able to land their shots for now. The firepower still prevailing for Team Secret. Spike has been lost.
Are they gonna stack it again? Try to block the TV?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if they can. They're a little worried that he's going to push that angle.
Okay.
So they're just gonna kind of deny it. Yeah, try to deny it.
50 seconds. I mean, what is
cover going on?
What are Bane's options?
He's got to get to a site
TP
and TP.
play.
Yeah, that's it. There's not a lot of other hope. I mean, he's got some time. He could just try to work
Sneak
this
through door.
Yeah.
Does he want to go through stairs?
Try to work the link.
He's running out of time.
30 seconds
Goes in
left.
just to check Link. It's clear so far. Jeremy spotted. Not quite able to get the initial duel. So
Not
that's
bad.
it, yeah.
Not bad.
Have any splints?
Now it's starting to really feel it.
Multiple fingers.
An idea for now.
Finish.
That's again the thing about Rumble Control so far. Both teams making great use of this one spot.
Yeah, it took a while for Team Secret to figure it out, and I mean this was an equal round, and DRX wasn't even really messing with it. Let's see if this time though, maybe they try a counterplay, but you know it's already being pinged out here, so Team Secret expecting some kind of attempted aggression, and there's just too much util for really DRX to do much about it anyway. Trying to make their way through towards C, trying to clear any of that util that they can and get the alarm bot. But the Nano's still there for NDG. Right in that landing zone where the Razes like to go. Wow, that's aggressive.
Flight path does not allow you to head into C. Meanwhile, Team Secret pushing out on the other end of the map too, going in towards A main now. A lobby, excuse me.
And you'd love to get ahead of DRX so they can't put these ultimates into play. Like, if you can do that, if you can shut the round down before it even really begins, that's why they go for a play like that there.
Don't let them set up and everything, but here comes the lockdown for now. Bane setting up for that big push. Everyone from Team Secret is starting to respect this. So easy pathing for Buzz to go through. Catches an unsuspecting Jesse Vash. Forces him to take a seat as compared to the previous round now. Viper's pick comes up as well. Invi has one of his own. Not quite able to use it for the time being. A paranoia being sent out by Bane to connect in towards B-Link. Invi now takes a step forward into the fray. Mako just fires down. The one choke point catches onto all of them. Buzz and Bane chiming in as well. It's DRX securing yet another round.
Yeah, and this kind of becomes the problem for Team Secret now is that the ult cycle kind of favors DRX a little bit, right? With this lead, they can invest a lot into that round, and maybe, you know, if Team Secret's able to pull it back close again, maybe get a few more into cycle towards the end of the half, and get that extra little oomph they need to get over the line potentially. We're getting close to that less than 5 score line, you know what I mean? Like, we're not too far away.
Getting close to it. Not yet. It is already that score line. Even if DRX makes it a 13-8, it's already pretty much less than 5. But that said, Team Secret does have a chance at making this really competitive. You still have those 2 defensive ultimates from Envy as well as NDG. Either for a retake or to push them off.
You got an op now for Jeremy as well. So, diligence being done here by DRX.
I always want to watch out for Buzz, though.
Yeah, no, I know. You all, yeah, especially with a showstopper, right?
Exactly. Just watching towards door. Jesse Vash trying to gain information, but nobody's there for now. Door opened, tapped again. Borkum knows they haven't pushed into B yet, so it's very likely going to be A. Here comes that showstopper. Oh,
the Prowler
just clips Jesse in the back.
Spike planted.
Great follow-up off the back of that Prowler. Good combo play. Ooh, but
Poison's off.
Borkum gonna get Bane down.
Alright, good initial pick. Counter lockdown coming in. Just waiting for the optimal time to peek out. Maybe going for a tap around the door to make them think that nobody's playing around tree any longer. Mako knows that Borkum is there. Still able to find a couple kills as Team Secret tries to rotate back onto the site.
Last player
It's all down to Envy now. It's, oh, Stax not quite able. Stax shuts down the entirety of Team Secret along with Mako.
Yeah, the discipline here from DRX is just so good. Getting close to the site, kind of working their way up. Immediately anticipating that lockdown, falling right back in a tree. Buzz there, again, the combo with him and Stax sets that up. I mean, it was brilliant. Mako, okay, Mako.
That was through the smoke. The time, he
That's
senses it.
Yeah, that's just one of those where you just gotta shrug your shoulders as Team Secret and say, what can we do? You know, when they're reading the timings and reading the pace of the game that well.
Making use of those ultimates. So down to it, 8-12. Team Secret in danger of losing this first matchup now.
I did not certainly expect this to be a 2-0 for DRX. We're one round away from it being the case. See if we can push to an overtime for Team Secret. But I thought, really, in my head, I thought Team Secret, at worst, would lose like 1-2. Because I thought they looked so good at the end of kickoff. Thought they kind of figured it all out, but it's yet again another slow start, that thing that Warbirds was so worried about. And they just can't seem to quite find their footing at the beginning of stage 1.
Because they've always been a team that, you know, does really well when they have tape to study, when they are prepared for it.
Right.
But DRX are pulling out these different plays now. You've got the combo of Buzz and Bane up around Rubble. Even on the attack, they kind of tamper with Team Secret's aggression on towards Rubble. And we're watching it right now as Bane just sidesteps everything with a shrouded step in towards Jeremy. Mako and Buzz securing each and every single one of their own angles. Envy so far has been the hero for Team Secret. Can he do it again? Only for the time being, until Foxy9 and Mako arrive on the scene. 13-8, DRX opens things up in stage 1, day 1 against Team Secret.
And that's finally the round where DRX decides to challenge that Rubble area. Bane TP's deep. They come in and get a big win over Team Secret. Smiles, and what a welcome to VCT for Bane. Had a very solid performance here today, a great performance on Sunset, solid on Lotus. This DRX team doesn't seem to be missing much swapping in Bane here. And you gotta really tip your cap to the way that he played today.
Yeah. Just the way that they're going into this. I mean, we were talking about it, you know, he's not going to be too flashy. We're waiting for that TP perhaps because he used to be a duelist. It's only in the final round that he actually TPs in towards someone.
He wasn't really doing it much. I mean, he was, you know,
very solid, safe.
Yeah, controlling that Rubble, but that's like set plays, you know, to get him that space. It's not like he's fighting for it much.
Well, that's it for now as we head on over to our analyst desk to break down what just happened.
It is all smiles for DRX. Even with a little bit of a shuffle on the roster, you cannot doubt these guys. And they're here to take their crown back.
No, they really are. And look, I got to catch up with Ken Young before, like right before this series began. And one of the things that he was saying to me is that after witnessing Gen G's performance in Madrid, he was saying that the team was more motivated than they ever have been. They have now been surpassed by another Korean squad. They want to be that team that is once again leading the region. They want to be the ones that get Pacific, get Korea the first trophy. And he said even with some of the swaps, the circumstances, etc., the players were still looking to persevere, and they definitely did today.
Is it just me, or is the energy from DRX, you know, in terms of when we look at the player cam, so different from kickoff, where everybody, Foxy9 is just like, yeah, like, let's keep going.
Vibe merchants, it just, again, it continues to prove to be so valuable to a squad to be able to just maintain stability, to be able to have spirits remain high, even if you lose a round that, you know, you feel like you really shouldn't, you give up that thrifty, but having just that rallying cry, that energy being maintained, it can help you just get right back into it. So, I mean, DRX not really ever looking too concerned in this second map, even with it being a bit closer.
We've seen this across the board for VCT in general, where everyone is playing at such a high level. And yes, there are strats that go into this, but often the teams that end up taking these trophies, a lot of it is credited to good vibes on the team. Chemistry, good vibes, and you're right, Ezra. I've never seen Foxy9 like this before. He wasn't like this last year either. I feel like his real personality is just out now, and who would have thought Foxy9 was meant to be a Sentinel?
Yeah, this is truly blossomed, and there's so much energy from the crowd as well. They say, finally, DRX, you know, showing what they really have, and Bane just kind of integrating well with the team. And you see, like, I believe that was Buzz that was just giving him a nice little shoulder tap at the back. Just so happy to see Bane play at that level at this, you know, starting series.
Now, Guys, there was a mini game that we had, our own game. And
Nailed
we're
it this
smiling from this too. For the guess and gain game, where the question was about the map differential. All of us had picked lesson 4.
तो गाइस इधर DRX जीत चुका है और गाइस इसके साथ यहाँ पे टीम होता है फिनिश क्या जो हो चुका है जो भी है चैंपियंस टूर जीत सकते हैं भाई B3 पहला मैच जीता है भाई किसने आई भैंची जेटा ने टीम हो चुका है जैसे भी है गाइस थोड़ा देर बाद इस टीम में एंड हो जाने वाला है so nice thanks for subscribing
that I'm going to be curious about and that we'll obviously be tracking as we go deeper into this tournament is just how does the performance continue to evolve from DRX? Because it's not like we haven't seen teams come out, you know, with changes, new squad, etc., look hot and then immediately fall off. I mean, Talon is one of those teams that we saw just back in kickoff. I mean, what a huge explosive beginning for them. Governor dropping over, 30 kills. That Breeze just running people down on Neon. And then just kind of fizzling out as we got into the future series for that squad. So I'm curious to see if DRX is going to have something similar here with Bane, or if this actually is going to be a very solid, mainstay, performance from him, where he's going to be able to continue this across all of their series here in Stage 1, with Foxy being able to put numbers up like this on that Sentinel role. I have to wait and see a little bit more from the squad, but already I think this is a very good introduction to this iteration of DRX.
Yeah, I mean, we all doubted a little bit, and I'm really glad to see this kind of result happen. Now, Buzz, of course, continues to rock with the Rockets.
Yeah, absolutely. We had that one play where he was just super aggressive on Rubble, throws out the nade, 2 kills away from a showstopper, gets those 2 kills, follows
blast
up with the blast back up over Rubble, gets the kills, and this was all supplemented by just well-timed utility throws from his own teammates. So you really see the coordination that DRX has. Again, let's just put aside that Bane is the new player. It looks like he just, again, has integrated himself well. This means that DRX still looking like that DRX that we know and love, that they're just so good at these kind of plays.
And for me, sorry, I just wanted to highlight both Vipers here, because I think Mako, it's been a little while since we've seen like a really Mako-esque performance from him. This was that. Huge performance out of Mako. 20 and 9. Huge lurk plays, just consistently putting up the clutch. But Envy played his damn heart out from the very outset of Lotus. That start from him was just red hot. It's like 14 and 3 at some point, and just really never gave up. Had the rest of the team trying to pick up the steam alongside him. It was a really great performance from him, so I just had to shout that out.
Yeah, that's a really good shout out, actually. I'm really happy to see Mako back in his Viper form, because he was such a crazy Viper last year. He's famous for it, and I'm glad to see him kind of back in that action. And you wouldn't even know Bane hasn't been playing with DRX this entire time. But he
hasn't been playing Omen.
Yeah, and Omen on top of that. So that was... I love all of it, of what I saw today. But Team Secret, on the other hand, we were talking about vibes, and we were kind of observing Secret a bit, and their vibes, I don't know, they didn't seem as on as they normally are.
Yeah, I mean, Envy was trying to hype himself up and the team with that thrifty 4K that kind of led into something, but it still was definitely, I think, lacking compared to DRX.
Yeah, but you know what? Secret, if anything, when you start to doubt them, they also come back, and that's exactly what happened at kickoff. Now let's talk to our winners. Jen is on standby with our MVP.
I'm standing here with DRX's Foxy9 now. Congratulations, Foxy9. What a great way to kick things off. Even with the sudden changes, you guys managed to 2-0 Team Secret. So now the first thing I want to ask you is, how's the team vibe like? And are you guys getting along? And how's the team coordination going? 팀워크랑 합이 어떤지 좀 궁금합니다. 아무래도 이렇게 갑자기 변화가 생기기도 했지만 연습할 시간이 많이 있진 않았을 것 같은데도 불구하고 좋은 경기를 보여줬거든요.
팀워크나 합은 솔직히 이제 주어진 상황에서 저희는 굉장히 열심히 한다는 마인드라서 솔직히 분위기 같은 경우는 저희는 나쁘지 않습니다. 다들 좋은 상태이기 때문에 그거는 걱정하실 필요 없고, 팀워크 같은 부분은 이건 이제 시간이 해결해 줄 문제라서. 그리고 팀워크 솔직히 저희 팀에게는 뭐 다 잘해가지고 그런 건 시간 의미는 있는지 모르겠습니다.
Well, first of all, in terms of the teamwork, we're coming into this 5 players all with the same kind of mindset that we give it everything we got. And also, I think given time, our teamwork's just going to keep on improving. And also, we have great 5 talented players. So I think the team synergy and the vibe is going pretty well. Well then, what can you tell us about what's been going on behind the scenes when it comes to who plays what, especially with you and Bane? 그러면 베인 선수와 이제 폭시나인 선수가 포지션 배분에 있어서 좀 어떤 과정이 있었는지도 들어보고 싶거든요.
이제 어떤 과정이 있었는지는 제대로 이야기는 하진 못하지만 이제 베인 선수는 이제 이번에 일부러 콜업 되고 나서 지금 첫 경기이기 때문에 굉장히 긴장을 하고 있다는 생각하거든요. 근데 이 선수가 긴장 안 했을 때 샷적인 부분에서도 생각하는 부분에서도 진짜 정말 좋은 선수이기 때문에 앞으로도 많이 기대해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Well, I really can't tell you much about how we distributed our roles or what's been going on behind the scenes because I don't want to leak stuff. But Bane, today was his first day after he was being called up to the first year scene in VCT Pacific. And I think he was a little bit nervous on stage, but I feel like with given more time and with him kind of warming up and feeling comfortable on the stage, I think he has more to surprise people with, and he has more to show because he really does have great mechanics, and he also has a great understanding of how to interpret the game and how to play the game. So I think you can expect a lot from Bane in the future. Well, last but not least, we saw you on that Sentinels role, Cypher and Killjoy. How has that transition been like for you, and do you personally enjoy playing the Sentinels? 그럼 이제 폭시나인 선수는 또 감시자 역할을 오늘 굉장히 잘해줬는데 어떤 식으로 준비를 했고 또 감시자는 개인적으로 좀 잘 맞는 것 같은지 궁금합니다.
예, 개인적으로 저는 저번 킥오프에서도 말했듯이 모든 역할을 다룰 수 있어가지고 솔직히 역할에 대해서는 저는 개인적으로 저에게 의미는 없는 것 같고, 감시자 같은 경우는 랭크에서 많이 했지만 이제 연습 때 살짝 안 해본 감이 있긴 한데 그래도 이제 대회나 그런 거 보면서 많이 배웠고 그걸 토대로 대처한 것 같습니다.
Well, as I mentioned in kickoff interview, I can pretty much play all the agents there are, and I don't think, the champion pools or the roles can limit me. I kind of transcend the concept of roles. So when it comes to playing different agents, including the Sentinels, I'm feeling pretty confident. And, I played a lot of Sentinels in ranked game as well. But when it came to practicing with my teammates and kind of bring it up to a form where I can play it in a pro level, it was there was a lack of experience. So I tried to make up for that by watching a lot of VODs and trying to learn a lot of lineups. And I just feel like I'm having so much fun and I'm feeling confident with my new role. Well, thank you so much, Foxy9, for the interview and best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Foxy9, everybody. And now, with the end of the interview, I'm going to toss it over to the desk.
Well, that's our vibes guy, Foxy9. And here are the standings now after today, day 1 for the Alpha and Omega groups. We got our 2 teams also winning their first championship points.
That we do. Big wins there for the side of DRX and ZETA, taking that first step towards champs here in stage 1. So here's to see how everything is going to, continue onward. Obviously, we get to see, maybe some wins from the side of Alpha tomorrow as the action will continue. We got 4 straight days, so who knows what's going to happen across all of these matches as we get to see every single team.
Yeah, so far there has to be some sort of answer from Alpha here because all of the losses are on the Alpha group.
Yeah, I wonder if there's gonna be a little mini competition here between the groups. There's so many games happening here at the in the Pacific League. All right, up next tomorrow is gonna be a pretty exciting day as well. We got Bleed and Talon. Of course, we got Paper X and T1. Do you guys are you guys excited for one more than the other, or are they all pretty like, oh my god, this is cool?
I think the obvious choice is the second series in PRX versus T1, just because that's probably going to be expected to be like, super high level performance. It's the return of Jing, etc. But I'm actually more interested in the first series, just because again, that's Zest coming back into the Pacific League. RB in his own right has been having a whale of a time over in China. So I'm curious to see how Zest is going to be here on Bleed. So I think for me, that's the one I'm going to have my eyes on.
Well, we're going to get to watch it tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for joining me at the desk today. Asarai Kilios, I'm Chubby Ninja. See you guys tomorrow for more VCT Pacific action.
Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Round B. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down planted. One enemy One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Spike down One enemy remaining.
यार मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि गाइस DRX ने बहुत ही बढ़िया खेला भाई, इसके जैसा पहले तो कभी नहीं देखा था भाई, बहुत अच्छा खेला। और जी का क्या ही बात कर रहे हैं, जब पहला मैच तेरा ही वाह भाई, क्या यार तेरा ही मैच, वाह भाई। टीम सेक्रेटरी भी तो तेरा एक ही रहे हैं, 4-8 राउंड तो तब जीते हैं जो पहला मैच ही। यार ये लोग क्या करते हैं पता नहीं बहन, जो पहले तो रोजी को निकाल दिया, प्लेयर ही नहीं है बहन, जो खेलेंगे कैसे बहन। फिर भी थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग, ये भी दिखा रहा है, कोई बात नहीं बहन। थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग। हम थोड़ा पिंग्स दादा का देख
5 मैन में ये टीबोर ने इंस्टा लॉक किया है।
क्लो पे रख एडिट, क्लो पे रख, जिसको जो मिला वो मिला।
वाइपर भी अच्छा है।
नहीं क्लो पे रख, क्लो।
ऐसा है क्या गाइस? बिंग्स बाय दे
जस्ट सेइंग, अगर तुमको मालूम नहीं क्लो मुझे ही मिले। क्या बड़ुआ इंसान है यार।
अरे यार
मेरे को क्या मिले, क्या
अबे सोवा की क्या जरूरत है इस बात पे?
बात पे पिंकी को किक करेंगे, किसी और को बुलाएंगे नेक्स्ट।
तो हम लोग भी जा ही रहे हैं अभी।
गाइस उप्स गाइस, गलती से मिस्क्लिक हो गया गाइस।
पट्टी रहता है ना
भाई, हम चारों का एजेंट्स बराबर है, सुबह कहां से?
तो क्या करेंगे हम,
मोहम्मद चीता हराम ज्यादा है, मेरे को